Hello, everybody. I hope everyone can see me and hear me okay. And if you cannot, please let me know in the chat. Okay. If you can't hear me or see me, I hope you can. I am back full blast and really, really excited. My life is ready to go, get back to normal. Okay. Ready to get back to normal and do what I love doing, which is sewing, embroidering, doing the live, and everything. So anyway, for those guys that are new, hi, I'm Jeanette from Boricua Sewing and Crafts, and for those of you that have been with me for quite some time, and also know I had a couple of rough days in the past for about like 4 weeks and stuff. I just really, truly, before I start blabbing about embroidery and everything, I really want to extend my thank you to all you guys out there that have sent me sympathy cards and everything. I lost my father last week. We had his funeral on Tuesday, and it was really difficult for me and my family. It was something that it was kind of expected because my dad was ill for quite some time. But no matter what, when it's your loved one, you're usually just really not ready whenever the time comes. So it was a little difficult of a time, but you know what? We got through it. He will always live in our hearts, and it's okay. Everything's fine. I know right now my dad has his wings and he's watching us all the time. So I'm excited about that, because now he's resting. So anyway, so I really just wanted to come in here and really just say thank you, thank you, thank you for all you guys that have reached out to me and my sister during this time. We really appreciate it. And believe me, all the phone calls that we got, all the sympathy cards that we got, all the emails and everything really means the world to me and her. That really, really meant a lot to us. So now that we are back to normal, okay, which I am pretty excited about, and it feels really, really good to be back home. I as soon as I came in, had to hug all my machines, and as soon as I walked in, it didn't take long to have people calling me in for orders. So I'm already kind of like, bleh, like I got a bunch of stuff going on. So I turned on my Etsy store again, and now it's back full force. My orders are already starting to come in through Etsy. I already have my neighbors reaching out to me for orders and stuff. So yeah, I'm back to normal, just doing this crazy stuff. Okay. So what are we going to be talking about this Friday? Okay. Well, a lot of times, I look at all of the different lives that I've done in the past, and sometimes I end up getting like new folks that come in, or new folks that have been thinking about doing embroidery but aren't really sure yet and stuff like that. So I thought, let's talk about machine embroidery basics, okay? Just like the one-on-one. And I thought this would be like a really good thing for us to like talk about the different aspects. And I have 13 things that I want to mention to you guys, okay? And I thought that as I mentioned them, you guys, especially those that have been doing embroidery with me for quite some time, you can chime in and put your comments and thoughts in the chat. And for those of you that are new that watch me, usually I'm a talker, okay? I'm going to let you know right up front. So the first hour of my embroidery happy hour, I usually go and I cover the topic and I tell you guys all the information. And then after that hour, I always do like to go in the chat and say hello to everybody, answer questions, any type of concerns, and help you guys out. Okay. So let's get to it. All right. I am going to be talking about embroidery machine basics. Got my notes right here. I got 13 stuff that I want to talk about. And I think that this information would be really, really useful to anybody out there that is thinking about embroidery or has been doing embroidery, but kind of like, hasn't really touched on everything yet. Okay. So the first thing I got, number one, the embroidery machine. And you guys know if you're going to do machine embroidery, you can't do it without the machine. All right. Unless you're planning on doing hand embroidery. And that's something that's totally different. Still popular also. So if you're thinking about doing hand embroidery, should look into that, because a lot of people do a lot of hand embroidery with personalizing certain items like hats, baby gowns, and scarves, and all that kind of stuff and everything. So it's still something really good to look at. Okay. Now, machine embroidery. Now, when we're looking at embroidery machines, there's usually two types. Okay. There's the flatbed, and then there's the multi-needle, okay, machine. All right. Now, the big difference between those two machines, you know, besides the number of needles, okay, is really the arm. A multi-needle machine usually have an arm. Now, if you don't know what an embroidery arm is, I will show you right here on this machine. This is what it is, okay? Let me turn you guys so you can see. What it is this is an arm right here, okay? And what it is makes it easier for you to like put stuff in there, okay? Now, do you need this type of machine in order to do embroidery? Absolutely not. You can do embroidery with a flatbed machine. What is really, really, really important when you're looking at a machine, okay, is two things that you really need to start to consider. What are the things that you want to do embroidery on? Okay, because if you are thinking of doing embroidery on like bags, you know, and things that are really hard to put on a flat surface, and an embroidery machine with an arm is probably something you should look into. Or you know, if you want an arm, or you know, what are you going to be embroidering, and also the size of the hoop is another thing that is very, very important that you need to consider. The larger the hoop, the bigger of the design that you can embroider. However, though, there are workarounds to that. You can use a repositional hoop. Okay, a repositional hoop is something where you can take the size of your embroidery hoop, and it's kind of like you're doubling it up. Okay, so like if you have a 5x7 embroidery machine, you can do a repositional hoop, which is a 5x12, which if you really think about it, it's a 5x7 with a 5x7. Okay, and they come this big. Let me show you guys. Okay, it comes like this big. This is a 5x12 hoop. So what, and if you notice on the side, you have like four hooks, right? So what you would do is you would hook it on your machine on the top, and then you would go ahead and then unhook it, and then hook it again, and then do the bottom. Okay, I do have a video on how to do a 5x12 embroidery design on a machine. So there's really two things when you're thinking about the embroidery machine. You got to think about what type of items you're going to embroider, and then also think about the size hoop. Those are really the two important. Now, the other thing you need to consider is price, okay? These things can be pricey. Embroidery is nowhere cheap. I'm going to get water, excuse me. It is not something that's cheap at all, okay? I don't know if you guys have noticed, okay? I went on the Facebook page. Somebody was looking to buy the Brother SC 1900. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If you are looking to purchase that machine, I say get it now. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I paid $1,000 for that machine. Now, I don't know what is going on. I don't know if someone knows what's happening out there. But now they have this machine priced at less than $700. It's like $600 and change for the SC 1900. Now, the SC 1900 is in a sewing / embroidery machine, and it has the 5x7 hoop. I think that's a fabulous price. The lowest that I've heard that people got this machine for in the past was about like $800. And that was like, I don't know, I think it was like a super sale or something that was going on. But I know I paid $1,000 for it. Now, if you want the latest model, they have the SC 2000, but they are asking for like $1,400 for that machine. And I got to be honest, that's kind of pricey to me, because I kind of, when I look at that machine, I'm kind of like, all right, if you're going to spend that much, I would say save your pennies a little bit more, and then see if you could get the next level up, which is a 6x10 hoop embroidery machine. That's what I would do. But I'm just saying, But anyway, you got to do what's best for you, like I said, So The embroidery machine is very, very important. That is a definite basic. Okay. Now, the other thing is you have to learn that machine. All right. So, one of the things that I really recommend that people do is don't just look at a machine that, you know, that I'm saying, right? Like I like the Brother SC 1900. It works for me. I think it's really a super user friendly machine. But the thing is, that's for me. Okay, so I'm really an advocate of you really I don't know, when it comes to certain things, ask around, and but at the end of the day, make sure that you make the best decision for you. Okay, because that is one thing. Sometimes you see that a lot of people kind of push a particular brand name or product and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing because they like it, okay? So, and it works for them, but not everybody learns the same. And not everyone has the same needs either, okay? Which is why, like, when people ask me about what's the best multi-needle machine to buy, I really don't like to push anything. I know what I like and I know what works for me. You know, but for other people, they've used other brands and they're very happy with them. And you're always going to get a happy person and a pissed off person. Okay, you're going to have somebody that's going to come out and say, "Oh, that machine's a piece of junk," or whatever, you know. And then you're going to have one that's going to say, "Oh no, I love it. It works great." So the way I see it when it comes to looking at embroidery machines, I really recommend that you go out there, do your homework, do your research, try to find which one really best meets your needs. Okay, you know, look to see if there's something that you like, you know, that works easy for you, that you truly understand, that you're gonna love working with. Okay, because the most frustrating thing with embroidery, especially machine embroidery, is when you are working with a machine that really sucks for you. Okay, because then you're gonna be like pissed off all the time, and you're really quickly not going to like embroidery. All right, so that's the first thing when it comes to the basics. Okay, your machine, really think about what kind of machine you want and make sure that you make the right choice for you. Okay, the other thing too is the embroidery hoops, and I kind of touched on this a little bit. And the reason why I say embroidery hoops is that you have to make sure that you have an understanding of what it is that you're trying to make. Okay, so what you're making is probably going to determine the size of the hoop that you're going to use. All right, like if you just are interested in doing like I don't know, let's say you just want to do dinner napkins, you don't want to do anything else but that. Okay, right there, what I would say is you can get away with a 5x7 or 4x4 machine, which means that you can probably get a machine that's pretty inexpensive, and you really don't need all these fancy big hoops. Okay, all you need is a small little hoop so that you can put the initials or a small design or something in the corner of dinner napkins. So if that's all what your business is all about, then that's the only hoop size that you need. However, though, if you are you want to do embroidery where you want to expand it, you don't just want to do one thing, you want to do a whole bunch of different things, you may have to really go deep down in your pocket, and you might have to really cough off some bucks to get a better machine. And I'm not saying really, well, I don't mean better machine, but a machine that can really handle different types of hoop sizes, because you never know what type of project you're going to get. All right, you might end up getting a towel where somebody wants their letters in 3 inches, they want big letters, or you may end up with projects that are pretty small. So you're going to want a machine that's going to be able to handle different types of sizes of designs. Okay, so you know, really think about the hoops, you know, that, you know, the sizes, because that's really going to help to determine what type of products you're going to be embroidering with your machine. Okay, the other thing also is when you are talking about, you know, machine embroidery, you're really going to have to learn how to um really put all the items together. Now, Jeanette, what the heck are you talking about with putting items together? What I mean is, when it comes to machine embroidery, all right, you're talking about embroidering different designs. Different designs, some are very like light in their stitch count, and some are very dense. Now, depending on the design that you're embroidering, that's going to determine the type of stabilizer that you're going to use. Also, sometimes in the design, it's going to depend the type of thread weight that you use. So that's something that you're really going to have to learn, all right? You're going to have to learn about the different types of weights of thread. You're going to have to learn about the different sizes of needles. And you're also going to have to learn about the different types of stabilizers, okay? Now, that can really get to be confusing. I mean, it can be enough that can really deter someone from even trying to explore further into how to do machine embroidery, okay? Because there is just so many things out there, different types of stabilizers. I mean, when I first started, I just bought a pack of tearaway stabilizer. That was it, okay? Because I didn't know. I really truly didn't know. I bought a pack of threads, which was a box of 63 colors. I bought a pack of tearaway stabilizer, and that was it. And the machine, okay, and the SC1900. And I thought, okay, I'm good with that, okay. But as time goes on, and I started to embroider, and I bought like these little kitchen towels, real cheap kitchen towels from Walmart, and I started to embroider. That's when I started noticing the quality of my embroidery. That's when I started noticing puckering. And that's when I started to notice that sometimes my designs skipped certain stitches, okay? And puckering usually happens when you're not using the correct stabilizer, or you did not hoop your item correctly, all right? Maybe sometimes you overstretch it. You shouldn't overstretch your fabric. When you're hooping stuff, it should really be laying down, and you need to make sure you have enough stabilizer on there. Usually, you end up on, when you're skipping stitches, right? That means you have to slow down your machine. You're running your machine a little bit too fast, okay? So you start learning about all these mistakes, right? You're going to start making all these mistakes and everything. And you're going to be like pissed off, and you're going to be like, what the hell's going on? Why isn't the design looking as nice as I thought it was going to be? And it's because you have to start learning about different things of embroidery, which includes the thread weight, the stabilizer, your needles, okay? There is different sizes of needles, and there is a reason why you should be using different sizes of needles. All of it's going to come together, like the whole story, okay? So you have to know that. So it's kind of like you got to know the right combination, the right recipe for embroidering what you want to embroider. And and I know I might be confusing some of you guys, but let me give you some examples, okay? Let's say you have a dinner napkin and you want to embroider some initials on the dinner napkin. First of all, you have to look at the type of fabric that dinner napkin is made of, okay? And then you also have to look at the design. If the design is thick, you may have to double up on your stabilizer, because if you don't, it could pucker up, okay? You also want to look at the design, and you want to ask yourself, does this design contain any very small, fine details that might not show up if the thread is too thick? If that's the case, then what you would do for those particular areas of that design, you would go ahead and you would use a thread that is a lot thinner than an ordinary embroidery thread. Ordinary embroidery thread comes in 40 weight. If you are embroidering something like with small fonts, or if you have a logo and there's some details in it that are very fine, that you will also use 60 weight thread as well, okay? So for fine things like small fonts and little details in a logo, 60 weight thread is what I recommend, along with a 65/9 needle. Now, what is the difference? The difference in the needle is the type of hole that you're going to be puncturing into the fabric, okay? A 75/11 needle goes along with a 40 weight thread, but when it starts to poke a hole through that fabric, it's a little larger, okay? And when you're embroidering small detailed items, you don't want that. You want a small hole, and you want very thin thread, okay? So you're going to have to learn all this kind of stuff, because when customers come to you, or even not even customers, let's say you're embroidering just for fun, or even you're embroidering for gifts, you want to you have to think about what it is that you're trying to do, how you want it to look, and then you have to look for that right recipe, okay? You have to look at the fabric, you got to look at your stabilizer, you got to look at your weight, your thread with the weight, and also the needles. Then you also have to look at your machine, and then you have to see how you're going to hoop the item on your machine. Are you going to be able to hoop the actual product along with the stabilizer in the hoop, or are you going to use a method called floating, okay? If you use a method called floating, sometimes you may want to do a basting stitch. And a basting stitch is something that stitches around the hoop, okay, inside the hoop, but around. And then what it does is it holds the item in place. And sometimes people actually use that basting stitch if they are using a topper stabilizer. And that's another thing too. You're going to have to learn all this stuff, because stabilizer is not just for the bottom. A lot of times people come out and say, hey, you know, it's just to put in the back of an item. That's not true. You have toppings, okay? You have top stabilizer. The top stabilizer is to help give those threads a little like up, you know, like a little pop. You know, it helps lift the thread, okay, from the actual fabric. Gives it a little leverage there, okay? So there's a lot of things you have to learn, a whole lot of things. So you got to learn the recipes, okay? You got to learn the recipes. And sometimes what happens is not every project is the same. That's the other thing too, okay? And I think that's one of the reasons why I love embroidery, because I feel like embroidery is like an adventure, okay? Sometimes you get a project and it comes to you, and what ends up happening is you have to find that recipe, right? You have to look at all that and see what combination is going to work so that you can make sure that it comes out gorgeous. This takes time. This is something that you're going to learn as you start to practice and you start to actually excel at your skill and your craft. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. When I look at some of the embroidery projects that I did in the very beginning when I started, which I actually thought at that time was good, okay, I kind of laugh sometimes and go, wow, that was just me getting started, you know. But as time goes on, things will get better. Trust me. What you cannot do is quit. Just keep making those mistakes, keep practicing, and you're going to see that within time, you're going to start learning what the true recipe is for these projects. You're going to start understanding what types of stabilizers are out there and what to use when. It all comes to, it clicks. It promise you it will click, okay? So I already talked about, I think I kind of like talked a whole mouthful and I went all the way down to number 7, okay? So this might be a quick hour. I don't know. So let me give you the rundown of what I had as the top 6, okay? I had embroidery machines, and we already talked about that. The embroidery hoops. I had the hooping process, which I kind of touched on it. Are you going to embroider the item with the stabilizer inside the hoop, or are you going to use a method called floating? All right. I talked about stabilizers. I talked about knowing the right recipe, the right combination that you need. All right. I mentioned needles. Remember, needles come in different sizes. All right. So you're going to need to, make sure that you understand what size needle to use and when. And then there's different threads. The threads are different types. Now, let me talk more about threads a little bit, okay? There are so many different brands of threads out there, okay? A lot of times when you talk to certain people, they're always going to have a favorite, all right? Now, I personally have not, in my experience, okay, have come and seen any type of thread that I was kind of like, oh my God, this is a piece of junk. I'm never going to buy this again. I have not experienced anything negative about any of the brands that I have used. The ones that I have used is the Sim thread, the Brother Reed, the Madeira. I've done the Nanny threads. I've done the Candle threads. I've done the Glide. And they've all seemed to really work great. And there's another one that's really, really shiny that I like, and I call it fluoride, but I know I say it wrong because y'all know my Spanglish, okay? It's the one, as a matter of fact, let me just show it to you guys, okay? Okay, it's Florina. Florina or fluoride. Well, not fluoride, but here you go. This one's it. Okay, the Florina one. Florini. Y'all know what I mean. This is it. This is it. Okay, these I kind of like because they're very, very shiny. So if you're looking for like a really good shine, these are really, really good threads. All right. Now I buy these from the sewing shop by my house. You can buy them online. Okay, so there are so many different types of brands of thread, and the colors are like countless. All right, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You're gonna end up with a whole stash, a big stash of thread. I have a big stash of thread. I have Florinii. Oh, Joanna, I think I'm just Florinii. Okay, or Florini. You guys know what I mean. It's this one. All right. So anyway, this is the cute shiny one. This is the one that I like for the shiny one. So anyway, but you're going to end up with a whole bunch of threads. I have threads all galore on my walls. I have them on the side here. I have them behind me. I even have them in tubs. Okay. I got all different types of colors. All right. So don't kid yourself. You're going to be buying a lot of threads. I'm telling you right now. Now, however, though, one of the things that I advise is don't buy the big combs unless it's a color that you use a lot. I see a lot of people do that. They go out and they buy all these big combs. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, then what ends up happening is they have all these big combs and they're really not using that color as often as they thought. Okay. So usually when it comes to the big combs, I like to buy the colors that I know I'm going to be using a lot, which are like the beige, the brown, the black, the white, the red, the blue, colors that I know I always use. When it comes to other colors, I like to use the small combs because to me, I look at it like, oh, I'm going to use, I'll when I run out, I'll just buy it again, but I'm not using it all the time. Okay. So, be careful with the threads, and I don't mean like be careful because they're bad. I'm just saying be careful because you don't want to go broke. Okay. You don't want to go broke buying all these threads and stuff. And then next thing you know, you're going to be sitting in your room looking at all these spools of thread and you're going to be like, oh God, what did I do? Just say, okay. So, all right. The other thing, bobbins. Okay. Know what bobbins work for your machine. Okay. There are two types of bobbins that you can do. You can wind your own bobbins if you want to. Okay. That's usually the cheap way. Okay. Or you can go ahead and you can buy pre-winded. They're already done for you. Okay, those. All right. I don't know what it is. My English is just not. I know what it is. It's because I was in Florida and I was talking too much Spanish with everybody because that's the only time I get to talk Spanish. I was talking with my mom, my sister, and everybody like that. So now I'm like all Spanished up and all my English is kind of like bleh, okay. So bear with me. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. Sorry, I gotta get that water. Okay. So there's two types. Okay, you can make the bobbins yourself or you can buy them that are already all set up for you. I personally like to buy the ones that are already set up for you. I don't think that's much of a big price difference in it, honestly. And I sometimes feel like you get more in your bobbin when you kind of buy them already, like wind it up. Okay, so I always buy them that's already winded for you and stuff. So, and I do kind of buy those items in bulk. But because I do embroidery as a business, my stock is pretty high. Okay. I mean, I usually have things in stock and my stock is probably higher than somebody that would just do this as a hobbyist. Okay. Like for instance, my thread, I do inventory of my thread and I usually buy them because I don't ever want to run out. The last thing you want is to be in the middle of an order and then you ran out of that color. I mean, that sucks big time. Okay. The other thing that you never want to run out of is bobbins. Okay. 2 Christmases ago, I was running low on bobbins, and I was going all over town looking for those bobbins for my embroidery machine. That will never happen to me again. I always make sure that I have at least 5 boxes with me, because that is the last thing you want, is to run out of bobbin thread, because then you can't work, you can't do anything. Okay, so yeah, so that is another thing. Okay, number 9, testing designs. Okay, let's talk about designs for a moment. Okay, about embroidery designs. All right, there are a lot of places that you can buy embroidery designs from. There's a lot of websites that you can go to. There's a lot of places on Etsy that you can purchase embroidery designs from. And one of the things that I kind of made as a mistake myself, and I'm sure that probably some of you folks out there can kind of probably experience this as well, is sometimes you can buy a design and then you're so confident that that design is going to work well that you don't even test it, and then you go and you take the product and you embroider on it, and then you find out that there was an issue with the file. Okay, maybe it wasn't designed properly, there was a jump stitch in there, misaligned, or something. Okay, and next thing you know, you ruin your product. Okay, so if you are new to embroidery, okay, one of the best ways to practice embroidering, and even if you aren't new in embroidery, I strongly recommend, if you have a design that you just purchased, okay, you test stitch it. Always test stitch it. You have no idea how many times I have purchased something and then I decided, oh, I don't have time to test stitch it. It's going to be fine. And then I stick it in the machine, load the design, put in all my color changes and stuff, hit that go button, and the design was either disordered, it didn't fill like I anticipated it to fill. It just, something was wrong with it. And then I had to reach out to the digitizer and say, hey, take a picture of it, send it to the digitizer. The digitizer apologizes and then refines the file and sends it back to me. But guess what? I already ruined the product. Okay, so I have to go and buy another one so that I can embroider it again. I'm telling you, it saved yourself a headache. I know that some of you guys may come out and say, well, Jesus, Jeanette, I mean, I'm going to embroider it and then I'm going to embroider it again. Some of you guys may think of it as, I wasted thread, I wasted bobbin thread. Don't think of it like that. That is one of the things. Do not think of it like that. You're not wasting thread. You're not wasting bobbin. You're not wasting time. What you're doing is 2 things. You are practicing and you're excelling your skill, and you're also testing that design to make sure that it's going to embroider exactly how you need it to embroider, so that when you hoop the actual product and you stick it into that machine, you're going to get the result that you want. Okay? Think of it like that, because trust me, if you stick that product in your embroidery machine and it doesn't come out that way, boy, you're going to be pissed. You are going to be pissed. You're going to be kicking yourself. You're going to be mad. I've been there. I know. I've done it. So now it's like, I even bought fabric aside just for testing designs. A bulk of just white fabric, white and black fabric. And now I use that. Another thing that I use to test design is sometimes I'll go and I'll just buy felt sheets. And it's just to see if the design's going to come out right. That's all it is. Okay. And this is another thing too. Another positive thing that you can think about. Okay. When you test the design, let's say it comes out beautifully, exactly how you want it. Don't take that test and throw it out. Cut it up, put it in a notebook. You know why? Because let's say you decide that you want to do this as business. Okay. That will be a portfolio of the things that you've embroidered in the past. And if someone's looking to hire you to do their embroidery, you can take that notebook and say, these are some of the items that I've embroidered. and you can show that to them, and they can see the type of embroidery that you have done. So that's something to consider. Okay. Sometimes I think a lot of times people think negatively about practicing and doing test stitches and all that kind of stuff. No, don't think that way. Think positive. Think about the good that can come out of it. Okay. And it's not wasting time. Okay. You're not wasting time. And remember, you love this. You love this anyway. I know me. I could stand in front of that machine. I could watch that needle go up and down all day. I love it. Okay. So don't think of it like that. Okay. Now, the other thing, everybody's favorite, and I know y'all gonna laugh when I say this, because this is everybody's favorite. If you are new to embroidery, you better learn, and you better learn good about tension. Tension is when you see the bobbin thread going to the top, and right there, people are like, why is the bobbin thread showing on the top of my design? Because now you got to adjust your tension. Tension is something that you have to learn, okay? It is the tug of war between the bottom thread, which is your bobbin, and the top thread, which is your embroidery thread, okay? You have to make sure that you have that tension right. I do have a video in I have two videos actually. I have two videos on tension on the channel, one for a single needle machine and another one for the multi-needle machine on how to test and adjust your tension, okay? So if you don't know how to do that, you're gonna need to learn it, because in the beginning when you get your machine, everything will work out great, okay? Hopefully everything works out great. But as time goes on and you start to become more advanced, and you start to use the heck out of that machine, sometimes your tension could get off. And sometimes tensions get off because of the fabric, or maybe the different threads, or you've embroidered so much. It happens. It's just something that happens. So you do want to learn how to fix that. It's frustrating. It's something that's going to take time and patience. I have done videos with several of the subscribers where, some of you guys have reached out to me when you guys are like at your ends, at your wits' ends, and you're pissed off and you just want to take the machine and throw it out the window. And then you guys just send me a message and say, hey, Jeanette, I'm having issues with the tension. I have actually videoed with some of you guys one-on-one, and I've had you guys practice and adjust your tension and showed you guys how to do it. I know it's frustrating. It is the part that I think, to me, is I feel is probably, if it's not number one, it's probably number two of the most issues that an embroiderer may have. Tension, learning how to do tensions and stuff like that, and adjust your tension. But you got to learn it. You got to learn it. And it's part of learning about your machine, learning about how it works, and learning how the top thread and the bottom thread works together. Okay. It's like learning your recipe. Okay. So you got to learn this stuff. All right. The other thing, and this is something that I learned the hard way. And I mean the hard way. Okay. Machine maintenance. All right. When I first got my machine, I didn't know crap about machine maintenance. Didn't even know you had to do machine maintenance, okay? Until my machine started to act up, and it was not sewing and embroidering the way it should have. It was skipping, it was clunking, it was bad, okay? Then all of a sudden I started looking around. Then they said, hey, you got to open up the machine and get rid of the lint. I was like, what lint? Let me tell you, when I opened up that thing, it looked like a big cotton ball in my machine. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, no wonder this machine was like, it was at its wit's end, right? So I had to quickly learn about taking off the top plate and taking my lint brush. And that's when I finally found out, why did I get this brush with this machine? Because you got to clean it out. So I didn't know. And then when I called my mom and I was like, hey, Ma, you got to clean the machine. And she's like, oh, yeah. Because, I don't know if you guys know, my mom used to work in a sewing factory. Okay. Back in, I think in the 50s or the 60s or something like that. She used to work when she was in, when she came from Puerto Rico, she came to New York City. They used to have some sewing factories in New York City. Of course, now they're all gone. But that's what she used to do. She used to sew and work in a factory. So I told her about, hey, did you know that, you have to clean the machine? And she was like, absolutely. And I didn't know that at all. And when I told her that I cleaned the machine, she was cracking up because she thought that was funny. But when you just don't know, you don't know, right? So whatever machine you have, whether you have a multi-needle or you have a single needle, make sure that you are doing the maintenance. Make sure that you are cleaning it. Make sure that you are doing annual maintenance as well on your machine, okay? Remember, it's a machine, okay? It's a machine. It will last for a very long time if you care for it. Very similar like a car, okay? You have to take care of your things, no matter what it is. If you don't take care of it, it's not going to last. It's not going to, it's going to start to break. It's going to start to mess up. And, you can't get mad at anybody but you because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Okay. So, just a piece of advice. Okay. Now, let's also talk about some notions, stuff that, a lot of times people don't think about, but they need to. Okay. Scissors. You really need a good pair of embroidery scissors, all right? And I'm talking about scissors that's going to enable you to cut jump stitches. Whether you're embroidering on a big machine that has a whole bunch of different needles, or you're embroidering on a single needle machine that's a flatbed, you're going to need snips, okay? You're going to have to be snipping some jump stitches, all right? Just because you have a big machine and has the automatic thread cutter, and there are going to be times when you have designs where there's going to be a jump stitch here and there, okay? And you're going to have to be able to, to snip them. So make sure that you invest in a good one. And I have several of them, okay? I don't just have one. I have a whole bunch, all right? The other thing is stitch removers. Mistakes are going to happen. They are going to happen. Trust me. There have been times when I have embroidered stuff and I had to take the whole thing out. This is one of the things that has really saved my butt, okay? I should have just brought this over here with me. Okay, let me bring this over here so you guys can see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the little scissors and the stitch removers and all that kind of stuff and everything. Okay, now I have two that are my favorite when it comes to removing jump stitches. Okay, I bought this one, okay, and I like this one because it has this little hook. See? And I like this hook because it gets right under there and then I get to snip it. So these are really, really, really good. I've gotten this. This is another one of my favorites. Oh my God. This was a gift that I got from Miss Banks, okay? These are little scissors, okay? They're called side hoppers. And, it's, see, this can really get into those small jump stitches and really, I can really cut them. Okay? And stuff. These really, really good. So these are my two favorites when it comes to jumping, cutting the jump stitches. Awesome. This to me is a must have. Okay. And let me tell you, and Miss Banks bought me this. And because this is so small, I'm always afraid that I might lose it. So I even went online and bought an extra pair and I have it in my drawer just in case I do lose it. Okay. But this is a very, 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 it's awesome. Love this one. And I love this one. Highly recommend it because I like that hook that this one has. Okay. So that way you can make sure that you are cutting that right stitch. You don't want to cut the wrong one and then mess up your project and stuff like that. So these are like my two number one favorites. Okay. Now, when also, I have talked to you guys about cleaning your machines. All right. Now, usually with your machine, when you get your machine, you get like a lint brush, right? The lint brush usually looks like this. This is the one that you get with your machine, which is a good brush. Don't get me wrong. This is really, really good. However, little tip for you guys, okay? These are brushes that I get from Five and Below, or you could go to the dollar store. These are just makeup brushes, okay? These are also very good for removing lint from your machine. What I like about these makeup brushes is that you get different sizes. Let me show you. See, you get the different sizes. Sorry, you get the different sizes. So sometimes you could have like lint that is kind of like somewhere in your machine that's like in like a particular area and stuff like that. So you really want to like get it out, right? So these really work wonders. And the thing is, you don't have to break the bank, okay? You don't have to go out buying these expensive stuff and everything. Be creative and all that stuff, okay? Mello, somebody's asking for you. Okay, so I see Marlene. Marlene asked for milk. Mello, pop up. Where's my pop up? Pop up. Oh, okay. He'll come. Trust me, he'll come and stuff. You want to go for Mello? Mello, you want to go for Here he is. Wait, you want to go somewhere, boo-boo? Where you want to go? Where you want to go? My baby. Everybody's asking about you. You got to do your cameo, sweetie. Okay. All right. So there he is, Marlene, and stuff. He was so good through the whole ride from Florida. I mean, he's my little buddy. You're my little buddy. You're so cute. I love you too. I love you too. Okay. All right, boo-boo. I'll take. We'll go out later. Don't worry. I promise. We'll go out later. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to tease you like that. Okay, so, yeah, you can get a lot of stuff, inexpensive to help you with embroidery also. Okay, so the makeup case is another one. Let me tell you another thing too. Now that I'm on a roll, okay. This is something that I hide from Mello because he thinks it's a toy, but it really isn't. And I've talked about this in the past. And I want to show you how I use this. Okay, this is pretty neat. Not with this hoop. All right. Let's say you have a small hoop, right? That it's either like a 4x4 or a, he's probably going to look to see if I put this down. He likes to bite this. Let's say you have a 5x7 or a 4x4 machine, right? And, sometimes I know me personally, I like to hoop my items. That is one of my favorite ways to embroider when I am embroidering on a, I like to float them when I'm doing the flatbed embroidery machine. However, though, when I do floating, I use a lot of adhesive temporary spray. Not a lot, just, you're supposed to spray a little bit, okay? Just enough so that you can tack down the item on the stabilizer when you're hooping, okay? I like this because I don't like my stuff to get dirty, all right? I'm pretty particular about my craft room. I like things to be nice and clean, and I like to make sure that everything that I have stays in its proper place because when you need it, you don't want to be looking through it. So I'm considered what my girlfriend kind of hates, because my girlfriend Melinda, she hates crafting with me because I'm a neat crafter, okay? Everything has its place, all right? So I use this because this, and just so you guys don't know what this is, if you go to the dollar store, which, I know it's $1.25 now, the $1.25 store, okay? This is something that you put around your wheel, your steering wheel in your car, okay? just get 1 or 2 of these. And then what I do is after I put my stabilizer on here and I want to spray the adhesive, okay, I put this around my hoop like this, okay? And then what I'll do is I'll take my temporary spray adhesive and then I'll spray it. Now, why do I do that? I do that because now my spray doesn't get on the actual hoop. What it does is it just gets on the stabilizer, right? Now, this, of course, will probably get some of the residue from the spray because that's what I want. I prefer to get it on this than to actually get it on the hoop because I don't like my hoop getting all, sticky and all that kind of stuff and everything. And then I'll remove this and then I'll go ahead and I'll use this for embroidery. However, though, one of the things that I like about this is after you use it several times, you can do 1 or 2 things. You can toss it out if you want, because you remember, you only spent $1.25 on it. All right. So it's not like this broke the bank. All right. But if you're very cheap, like I am, I am pretty cheap. What I do is I take this and I just throw it in the washing machine. And then, I just dry it with my regular clothes and everything like that. And then I'll just keep using it. The only time that I throw these out is when Mello gets a hold of it and he breaks the elastic, okay? Because as you can see, this is stretchy, so there's elastic in it. So if Mello gets a hold of it, he breaks it. Of course, this is really not used to it because it's not really going to go nicely around the hoop, so I'll have to throw it out and buy a new one. But if I use this and I hide it well enough from Mello and he never gets a hold of it, it kind of lasts a long time, okay? So the elastic really doesn't break or anything like that. So I get to use it and then, spray and then just throw it in the washing machine and reuse it. So if you buy 1 or 2, this is good enough, and if you really take good care of it, this should last you a pretty long time. Okay. But it's a really nice thing to have. Okay. This is really something that's really nice. I mentioned this in the past and everything, but just in case there's folks out there that are new, I think this is a good idea. All right. Now I know there was something else that I hear that I wanted to show you. Oh, yes. My favorite of all favorites. Okay. Remember, we're talking about mistakes, okay? Mistakes are going to happen, okay? It happens to the best of us. No, I don't care if you've been embroidering for 10 years or 50 years or 100 years, okay? You're going to make a mistake. You know why? Because you're a human being, all right? And machines hiccup too, okay? So one of the things that I got, and I got 2 of these, okay? I got one that is cord and one that is cordless, all right? I got a Peggy Stitch Eraser. Now, I know that if you look at this, all right, this is the same thing. To me, it looks like the same thing that a man uses to shave, right? However, though, from what I understand, the blade is designed so that it can really cut thin threads. I've heard some people asked about, hey, would a man's shaver work? I don't know. I never tried it. Okay. Carlito has a shaver. Fred has a shaver. They have not allowed me to touch their shaver. Okay. They do keep a close eye on their shaver, so I haven't been able to actually do a test on it. So I might have to wait until they buy a brand new one, and then I'll say, hey, can I borrow your old one so that I can see if it will do the same thing as this, okay? But if you do have an old men's shaver around, what I would do if I were you is I would just do a letter on a piece of fabric, just for the heck of it, then turn it around and see if you can unstitch the bobbin thread with a regular man's shaver and see if it works. Now, I do have a video on how to use this, okay? There is a way to use this, all right? You can't just go crazy and just, put this against the fabric and start going circles. There's a way to the madness, all right? Because if you do this and you are actually like hitting against the fabric, you can cut the fabric, and you can end up making a hole in your fabric, right? So you have to be careful on how to use this. The way to really use this is to focus on the bobbin thread, because remember what I was talking to you guys about earlier, that when we're talking tension, we're talking about like a tug of war between your bobbin thread and your top thread, okay? Because they're kind of like connected. That you want to take this, and what you want to do is you want to break the bobbin thread. Once you break that bobbin thread, the top thread is going to come right off, all right? However, though, sometimes that can be easy to do, because depending on your design, sometimes that can be very fine, okay? That can be a very fine line. But if you're doing something like with big letters and stuff, you'll see that bobbin thread in the back of the design, and you could just take this and just go over the bobbin thread and it'll come right off. But you can use this on detailed designs too. You just have to be very, very, very careful, because you don't want to mess up your fabric. You don't want to cut a hole in your shirt or anything like that, okay? But this is, to me, a must. I mean, like I said, I have two of them. I got the one that's corded. This is the cordless one, okay? And I always have this plugged into the max, and then I put it away, and I pray that I never have to use it. But there are times when a hiccup happens and you're like, okay, where is it? And I have to pull it out. Okay, so the reason why I have both is because if I'm in my sewing room, I'll take the one that's corded, okay, and I'm not a problem. I have a plug that's right by me. But then there are some times when I'm like really frustrated because I had a bad day, okay? Maybe none of my embroidery designs came out the way they're supposed to, okay? And I just need to get out of here, because as much as I love this place, I can have my moments here too. So I will take the item with me and I'll sit on my deck, and I have the cordless one, and then I can just sit there calmly and enjoy the weather or whatever, and just be in my zen while I undo all that embroidery. And you can use a seam ripper if you want to, okay? I bought myself a cute little fancy one. I got this one off of Etsy. Somebody makes these things, so I got a really cute one. This is, let me see, here's the seam ripper part. See, and sometimes you can use a seam ripper if you want to. However, this will take a very long time to do, because you got to remember, when you're embroidering, you're talking thousands of stitches, depending on the design that you have. You're talking thousands of stitches, okay? Sometimes your design can have, something small, like maybe 10,000 stitches or 15,000 stitches, sometimes if it's just a simple name. But I have done some embroidery, like the baby blankets and all that kind of stuff. Some of that stuff, I mean, I'm telling you, it's probably like about like 30 to 40,000 stitches. That's a lot. So trust me, you're going to want something like this. Okay. So just something to think about. So, yeah, this will be your best friend. Trust me, it will be, especially at those bad moments. Okay. Where, you make that oops and stuff, and don't kid yourself. Don't think that oh, I'm never gonna need it, or I'm never gonna make a mistake. Oh yeah, you are. Okay, you will. And you know what, you'll probably remember me for it and stuff, because I'm gonna be telling it, because I'm telling you like it is. Okay, stitch you. Okay, oh, that's all of it. All right, so I got, let me run down the 13 items real quick. Okay, your embroidery machine, embroidery hoops, your process on how you are hooping your items. You got to learn that recipe, okay? With the recipe that is your hooping process, your stabilizers, your needles, your threads, your bobbins. You got to know the right combination. Most importantly, testing your designs, okay? Make sure you buy extra fabric for that, or felt, or whatever it is you want to test your designs on. Testing your designs is a must. You got to do that. Tension, learn your machine. It's all about learning your machine, doing your maintenance on your machine, okay? Scissors. Let's talk about, I showed you the snips. Also, embroidery scissors. I got some real cute embroidery scissors that I like. Let me see. I want to see if I can show you others that I have. I also have curved scissors. Scissors are going to be so important to you. I'm telling you, it's going to be like, I have so many scissors in here. And I'm going to tell you guys something, okay? Guard your scissors. Guard them, okay? I bought my mom a pair of scissors for her sewing. And one of the things she did was she had it in her sewing room, and I went in there and I needed to cut some fabric. And when I went to cut the fabric, the scissors that I bought her were dull. And then she told me, well, your dad, he found out where you put the scissors and he needed some scissors. So he would go into the sewing room and grab the scissors and go in the garage, because my dad was an auto mechanic. So God only knows what he used those scissors for. But I'll tell you what, they don't cut fabric anymore. Guard your scissors with your life, okay? Because once your scissors start to cut paper and stuff like that, when you take those scissors and you try to cut fabric, it's not going to cut the same, okay? Scissors, I mean, I have a lot of scissors, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I know Carlito and I know Fred. They be looking in here, and they be doing the eye thing, the eye scanning. And they're like, I know she got her scissors in here. I hide them, okay, on purpose. There's only one pair of scissors that I leave out, and it's these. And these are the cheap scissors that they can use for paper or anything, and I'll be fine. Now, the good scissors, hidden, tuck away, do that. Trust me. And let me tell you, these scissors are expensive, okay? They're not cheap scissors, okay? These are not cheap at all. So you're going to want to guard your stuff. I'm telling you, you're going to have to guard your stuff and everything. I mean, sometimes Fred looks at all this. He goes, I don't understand why you have all these scissors. Different scissors have different purposes also. You're going to learn that, like applique scissors. I have duck scissors. That's perfect for applique. You're going to want to learn all that kind of stuff and everything. Let me see. I'm going through all this stuff, and I want to see what else I have in here. I even have extra stuff that I have hidden away in little pouches and stuff. Here you go. See, more embroidery scissors. See, I keep my stuff hidden. You have to. Got to guard your stuff. I'm telling you. It's like, if I ever see Fred or Carlito using any of my sewing or embroidery scissors, I would probably be like, oh my God. I would have a fit. Well, would I do that? No, I'd probably be like, what the? That's probably what I'll do. What the hell are you doing? And I'll start screaming and yelling. My temper will come out and everything. And then Fred and Cardi will probably get in the car and take off. And they'll be like, oh my God, she's having a moment, But let me see what else I got in here. What else I got in here that's really, really important. Make sure you buy machine oil, okay? You can't just use any oil in your embroidery machine. Don't even think about baby oil. Don't even think about any type of oils out there. Whatever, you got to oil your machines. Now, the Brother SC1900, you don't have to oil it, because they usually oil it for you when they do the maintenance, and they only need to oil it like very little, okay? If you have a multi-needle machine, you oil that sucker every day. When you turn it on before you embroider, you got to oil it and stuff. So make sure you have your bottles. And this one's low, but I have a whole lot more over there and stuff. But make sure you have your oil and stuff. Let me see. I think I'm good. I think I mentioned everything. Recycle. I recycle my cores. I don't know if any of you guys do that. But these are the bobbins that I use for my multi-needle machine, and these are the magnetic core, the core. I recycle them and stuff. You can send them back to the company, and they will send you a rebate, a little like coupon and stuff. So when you buy your next box, so I always recycle and stuff. If you have any pill boxes in your house, make sure that you keep those pill boxes. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, oh, did I throw it out? I think I did. Okay. When you are, where do I have it? Yeah, I think I threw it out. I think I threw out my last pill box. Okay. Wait, if you have somebody out there that they finished a pill bottle, right? Change your needles. Do not be cheap with your needles. I'm telling you, don't be cheap with your needles. If you're cheap on your needles, that's going to mess up the quality of your design, okay? Take a pill bottle, an old one, right? And all your old needles, put them in there. Store them in there. And then when it's full, then you just throw out the pill bottle, okay? That's a good way to throw them out. Because remember, you don't want somebody to be taking out the garbage and accidentally get pricked or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I always think about that. You don't want the person that works for the garbage company or whatever. I don't know if they hand take the stuff out or whatever, or if somebody's walking in the landfill. I don't know. I always think about, God forbid somebody gets pricked, so I always use empty pill bottles, and I use that to put all of my my old needles in there. So make sure that when you stock up on the needles, because you should not be using it for more than 8 hours. Okay, once 8 hours is over, put a new needle in. Don't be cheap. Put it in, because trust me, if you are embroidering with a dull needle, that is going to kind of distort your embroidery's design. And another thing also that I kind of tell people is, if your machine runs 1,000 stitches per minute, that doesn't mean you have to run it 1,000 stitches per minute. Okay, don't be afraid to slow down your machine. In some specific designs, you will need to slow down your machine, especially when you are embroidering very detailed work. You're going to have to slow it down. A lot of people have this perception that my machine does 1,500 stitches per minute, so I'm going to keep it at 1,500 stitches per minute, because that way it just hurries up and does the design. Well, I don't know. To me personally, this is just how I work. I love what I do. I have no problem if it takes an extra 10 or 15 minutes. As long as I get a crisp, clean embroidery design that looks great on the product, that I'm happy. All I'm looking for is that end effect, and stuff. And something that I opened up today, I got 2 of them. One of these were supposed to go to Nancy's house, and one of them was supposed to come to my house. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to stick this in an envelope and send this over to Nancy. I decided to give this a try. I don't know if any of you guys have this. It's called a Serger steam hook. Okay, and if you look in the picture, all right, it's about, it's like, if you guys have a serger, when you're serging, you sometimes get a tail. Okay, a lot of times people cut the tail and they'll put like fray check or fabric glue at the end. Some people, what they'll do is they'll cut the tail and they'll actually push the tail into the stitching. I'm gonna do a video on how to use this and stuff. I bought 2 packs. I got myself one, and then I got one for Nancy. This was supposed to go to Nancy's house, but the 2 of them ended up being here. So I'm gonna have to put this in an envelope, and I'll probably put this in the mailbox to go to Nancy tomorrow, so that she can get it for her serger and stuff. So yeah, but I'm going to do a video on how to use this and stuff, because I saw this. I thought it was pretty neat. And yeah, I want to see how this really works and stuff. So I will share that with you guys, for those of you guys that do the serger. And I can't believe that I don't have my pill thing. Oh God. Okay. I fibbed. Okay. Here it is. See? And look what I do. This is a pill box. Okay, and then look what I do. I put a label, and it says old needles. Okay, and as you can see, all my old needles are in there. So when this gets full, which is kind of full right now, but I still have room in there. So when this gets really, really full, then what I'll do is I'll take this whole thing of old needles and I toss it into the garbage can. I know I had it, because I was wondering. I said, did I throw that out? I don't think I did. and stuff. But anyway, but this is how I do old needles and stuff. So it's a great little tip for you guys, you know, if you have somebody out there, you know, or vitamin bottle or something, you know, just get a little container like this, throw your old needles in there. It's a great way to just toss them out, and that way, you know, nobody gets hurt and stuff like that. So, and another thing too that I always do, me personally, when I change my needles, Mello is out. He is never in here, for the simple reason that if I drop a needle and I have to look for it, the last thing I want is for him to accidentally step on it, snip it, eat it, or whatever. Okay. So if you have pets that are around the house and stuff like that, when you are changing your needles, I highly recommend, or little kids and stuff like that, everybody leaves the room. Make sure you have your lights on and everything, and take your time. And, you know, that way, in case you drop a needle and stuff, you know, you can find it and stuff like that. And you don't have to worry about kids stepping on it or your pets getting to it, stuff like that and everything. Because that's, yeah, that's a big thing. Let me see. I'm looking around. I think I'm good. I think I am good. And I know I am at an hour and 10 minutes because like I said, I always just like to talk about the topic the first hour. And then after that, then I always like to go down the chat and talk to you guys and stuff. And I have to tell you, it really feels good to be back in my space. It really, really, really does. I got back yesterday. And yesterday I got back around like 7:00 in the evening, and you know, unloaded the car and stuff like that. After we got here, Carlito went back to Richmond to his apartment because he wants to get a couple of his things before coming back home. You know, but yeah, and it felt really good to be home. And this morning got up, unpacked, did a lot of laundry. Went to the post office. I got so many sympathy cards from you guys. I really appreciate all the cards that you guys sent me. You know, and I also was looking at my dad's shirt. Before I had left, I had asked my mom to give me one of my father's shirts. I actually have plans for this shirt, which is right here. I'm going to show you guys. This was one of my dad's favorite shirts. And, you know, I have big plans for this shirt. One of the things that I'm going to do with this shirt, though, I'm not actually going to do it myself. I'm actually going to go to Michael's and have this done. My husband has, you know, football jerseys, right? And they're autographed. Right, he's big. Well, it used to be Redskins. Now they're Washington Commanders. Right. So when he gets the shirts and he gets the jerseys and they're signed and everything, he usually has a picture of the person signing the shirt and, you know, certificate of authenticity. And he goes and he takes it to Michael's, and they put it in a shadow box. And in the shadow box, they kind of like stitch the shirt. And it's beautiful the way they do it. It's pretty pricey, you know, but I want to do that for my dad's shirt. And I actually want, you know, so I'm going to be heading to Michael's. I have an appointment with them tomorrow. And I want to get a really nice frame, and I want to get the shirt sewn into the shadow box. And I want to put in my dad's picture, and I want to incorporate a picture of my dad with my son. And it's something that I want to give my son, you know, so as a gift. So, you know, and it's something that we can always have, you know. Yeah, so that to me is you know, one of that's the only thing that I wanted. I asked my mom for that, and she gave me that shirt before I left. And I'm going to have it framed, and I'm going to make sure that it's proudly displayed in the house so everyone can see it and stuff like that. Ooh, I don't want to get teary-eyed. Okay, so anyway. All right, so enough about that. So anyway, yeah, so I'm going to do that. Oh, and let me show you something else too that me and my sister were doing while I was in Florida, okay? Look what I picked up. And I think I am going to be picking up more of these, and I'm probably going to videotape me doing this. Now, I don't know if you guys go to Joann's, and if you do, make sure that when you're getting any of these sewing patterns, that you go when they're $1.99. Okay, I don't know. It was just luck. Me and Nancy went to Joann's, and I saw this sewing pattern. Okay, because I was like, oh, now if you guys know, I dress up Mello. Okay, especially in the wintertime. You know, he has his little winter boots. He has his leather, you know, not leather, but his winter coat with his scarf, his raincoats, his sweaters, and all that kind of stuff. You know, he's a fashion bug for me. But one of the things that I wanted to do is I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I can create his own clothes? So I like to make sure that Mello is comfortable, and I kind of like this style because if you can see right here by the you know, by the legs, it's not like tight. You right? You know, it's not really tight, and I don't like it when it's like really tight on him because I feel like he can't move freely. So I am going to attempt to sew this for Mello. And I thought this would be really, really cute. And then I saw that they had these little pillow things. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't think I need a pattern for this, okay? Because really think about it, it's just a round pillow. So the way I look at it is two round fabrics, one on the top, one at the bottom. You know, sew them around, stuff them, okay? And then I should be good to go. But I'm like, well, it came with the whole package, so I'm okay with that, all right? But I got this sewing pattern for $1.99. Now, I didn't know that Joann sells sewing patterns for $1.99 when they're on sale. If they're not on sale, then usually, you know, you have to kind of like pay the retail price, and sometimes they have them like 30% off the retail price. I saw a whole bunch of sewing patterns that I wanted, and I got like a whole package of it. This was one that I bought when it was $1.99. Then me and my sister went back another time. And then I saw all these sewing patterns that I wanted, but they were like $12.99, $11.99. And I was kind of like, ooh, what happened to the $1.99 sale? So the lady came out and said, well, that's going to be next week. So I was like, oh, well, then all these patterns I can get for $1.99. She was like, yeah. So I told her, well, then I'm not going to buy them today. Because, I mean, why would I do that, right? So I just took a picture of all the patterns that I picked out. And then I figured next week when they go on sale for $1.99, I'll go back to Joann. I already got the numbers, and then I'll get those patterns, and then I'll go and get them. And, you know, I am kind of new on the sewing side of things, okay, because I'm really good at the embroidery, just not sewing too much. But I really want to start to get into it, and I have a serger and all that kind of stuff. So I want to make use of these items too. Okay, I don't just want to do embroidery, you know, even though I love it, but I also want to do that. And I'm going to have to start learning how to read these patterns. And I see them, and one of the things that I see is that they have like different sizes and stuff in some of these patterns. I bought big tracing paper. So one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tracing paper to trace the size that I need and then cut that instead of actually cutting this. Okay. That way I can always have all the different sizes and stuff. But I have to admit, I'm excited about this. I really, really am. It's going to have to be on a day that I'm not disturbed. You know, so I am hoping that I can tackle this weekend. So I am pretty excited about it and stuff. You know, these are they have the dog sizes, small to medium, and then large to extra large. So I'm pretty excited. And you know, I'm going to do the jacket and then sew it, and I'll videotape that, and we'll see what Mello looks like at the end. Okay, does he look cute, or is he going to look like Theo? I mean, in what was that show? The Cosby Show, when Lisa Bonet sewed and we had one sleeve longer than the other. So we'll see how that rolls. Okay, if Mel's gonna look cute, or is he gonna be giving me that eye like, really, lady, you know? So we'll see. And I like the pillows. I really do like the pillows and stuff. But like I said, this seems like for the pillows, I don't see how hard that can be. It's just 2 circles. And it's probably the top, the way I see this laid out, I think the top circle is probably smaller than the bottom circle is probably bigger. And that's why you see the bottom go up a little bit, and maybe I'll make him one of these too, even though he probably won't use it because he usually jumps in the bed with me and Fred and right smack in the middle. I mean, it's like having 3 people in there. 85 pounds, all 85 pounds of him. So I am going to go down the chat and say hi to you guys and everything. I'm so excited to like be back in my norm. And I did not turn on the embroidery machines today, but I will be doing that first thing tomorrow morning because I already got embroidery orders that I have to fill. So I am pretty excited about that too. So, hey, Marlene, how you doing? And I got your card, Marlene. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Elma. I see Debbie, Marlene. Hey, Kellner, how are you? What's up, embroidery heads? Hey, Terry. Hey, Annette. Hey, Renee. I was wondering what you do think of buying a used machine. I'm so sorry to hear about your dad. Had a hard time. I lost mine 2 years ago. Oh, used machines, Renee, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with getting a used machine, okay? The only thing that I say is make sure that you have someone that can service that machine. Also, look to see how long they've had that machine and see if they can prove to you that they have actually serviced it the way they were supposed to. I know a lot of people that have bought used embroidery machines and it worked out great for them, buying new it's it can be expensive. It truly is. And one of the things that I say, Renee, is buying an embroidery machine it's like buying a car. Now, I've always bought new cars throughout my whole life, and my embroidery machines have been new too. But I am one of those people that when I buy a car, I don't get a new car until my feet are showing at the bottom of the car. I mean, I use it to the very end of life. Okay. I'm just not one of those type of people that I got to get a new car every 2 or 3 years. So for me, because I use something to the very end, it's worth it for me to buy new. And I know the history of it and stuff. I've heard the horror stories of some people buying used cars, but for the embroidery machine, if you know someone that knows how to repair and service embroidery machines, or if you have a sewing shop by you that does servicing and repairs, and you see that there's a big significant savings between buying a used and a new one, I would take the plunge for the simple fact that let's say something is a little off with the embroidery machine. It's probably, and you have to get it repaired or you have to get it serviced and stuff like that. It's still going to be cheaper than if you were to buy a new one. Just saying, So I would just, and another thing you could do, Renee, also is when you go buy the machine, ask them to show you that it works. They should be able to. You should, ask them, hey, I have an embroidery file, or can you just show me, stitch out a letter or something like that? I just want to see if it works correctly and stuff like that. The seller should be able to turn on that machine, hoop a piece of fabric, and show you how it works. And you can check to make sure the tension is right and all that kind of stuff, So, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with buying used. I know some people that have bought a used embroidery machine and they haven't had any issues and stuff. So, just, I would just be cautious to just make sure that, you look at everything, and I'm sure you're going to be fine and stuff. Hey, Classy and Caffeinated, how you doing? Hey, Marlena, how you doing? He's looking down on all of you. He is. He's got his little wings. My dad got his wings and stuff. Hey, Crafty Puerto Rican, how are you? Hey, Eartha. Hey, Deborah, how are you doing? I know Mello was with us, Deborah, in Florida. In the very beginning when I was traveling to Florida. The first time I went to Florida, Mello was with me. The second time I went alone, and then the third time I went alone. But then when my husband had to join me, he actually joined me with Mello. Mello came with him in the ride, him and my son. So towards the end, Mello was with us and stuff. Hey Robin, how you doing? Let's see. Hey Marlene. Hey Embroidery G, how are you? Hey Miss Designs. Hey Marlena. Be sure to take some time for yourself. I will. I definitely will. Um, yeah. But it's funny because this kind of is like my time to myself because I really love being in this room. I mean, this is my place, my happy place. It really truly is. And I love filling orders. I love doing the embroidery projects. I don't know. It's just something that I truly love. And I really love doing the YouTube videos and showing people how to do things. It keeps me busy and I kind of like doing it because I feel like I'm helping people. So, yeah. But I am definitely going to take time to myself and stuff. Maybe on Monday I do plan on meeting a girlfriend of mine and we'll probably go to a winery or something like that and stuff. Hey Demp Designs, how you doing? Hey Robin. Hey Iris, how are you? And the baby booties. Oh, I know Eve. Love Eve, the baby booty. Let's see. Hey Barbara, how are you? Hey Eve, how you doing? Let's see who's up here now. Jeanette, haven't forgotten. Been very busy. Hey Anna, how you doing? I see Bridget. I see Eartha. Oh, SPP had a hoop feast this week. They gave a special today for $599. I saw SPP, which if you guys don't know, SMP, which is what Eartha's talking about, is Sewing Machine Plus. They sometimes host live videos, and what they do is sometimes they sell certain things on sale, right, at really really good prices. For those of you guys that don't know, I have the Brother Airflow 3000 Serger. When that Serger came out, it was like $1,300, right? And I actually paid the $1,300 for my Serger, but I didn't get it yet. It was supposedly back ordered from the place that I ordered it from, right? And then Miss Banks reached out to me and she saw that Sewing Machine Plus had a live and they were selling the Airflow 3000 Serger for $999. So that's like a, what is that? That's like a $400 difference, right? So she texted me and she was like, hey, Jeanette, did you look at Sewing Machine Plus? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she got me when they told me, she was like, hey, they're selling it for $999. Call them. When she sent me that text, I said, what? And I called them up. I actually picked up the phone, called them up. And the guy said, I have 2 left. I said, sold. I want to buy 1. So I bought it for them for $999. And because I had not took delivery of the other serger from the other sewing shop, I just told them I wanted to cancel it because, I was already waiting like 2 months for my serger, and that was a long time. And I had ordered it actually before Christmas. And I had wanted to do an overview video of it. And the reason why I wanted the Airflow 3000 is because that's the one that auto threads. And, I wanted that machine. So, so I saved $400 because thanks to Miss Banks, because all I kept thinking was, oh my God, $400. That's a good price. And you know what I could do with $400? That's a lot of stabilizer that I can buy for $400. So I was just like, oh my God. So yeah, I saw that they had they had some kind of live going on with the hoops and stuff, but I didn't get a chance to do that. Let's see. Yeah, hey Marlene. Yes, Marlene is giving the rundown on that SC 1900. And yeah, it is. I'm really amazed at how they have really come down on the price on that machine. And I'm wondering if they just want to get rid of the SC 1900 because they want to start pushing the SC 2000. That's my hunch. That's my hunch on all that, because I don't know if you guys looked at the SC 2000. That's $1,500. That's a lot of money. And I did a video on the comparison of the two machines, and I gotta be honest, I don't know if I would spend the extra money on that, because I mean the only big thing, the big comparison that I saw between the two was the jump stitch, that it cuts the jump stitches. But I gotta be honest with you, I'm okay with cutting the jump stitches myself, because I look at that big price gap. And now that the SC 1900 is like $700, that's a bigger price gap. Okay, so if you're new, I mean, just something to think about. If you can get the SC 1900 that comes with a 5x7 hoop, and you can get it for $799 instead of getting the SC 2000, which is $1,500, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money in that price gap. And that price, you could use that money for stabilizers. You can use that for threads. You can use that for needles. You can use that for your bobbins. I mean, oh my God. It's like, just something to think about. Just something to think about, okay? That's all I'm saying. Because I'm telling you right now, embroidery is not cheap. It's not cheap. A lot of people like to get into it, and then once they get into it, then they're like wondering, where is all this money? It's like, wow, it's this, my money is just flying out of my pocketbook because I'm buying this, I'm buying that. And then also, depending on what you're doing, there's different types of stabilizer. There's cutaway, there's tearaway, there's no-show mesh. There's sticky stabilizer, there's toppers. They got the heat and gone stabilizer. There's just so much stuff. So, I'm just saying, I mean, if your budget is tight, and let's say, if it was me and I only had like 1,500 or 2,000, even $2,000 to spend, I would be like, I'll get the SC 1900 for $799, and then with the rest of the money, I can buy all supplies that I need. So it's just something to think about. Now, the Crafty Puerto Rican put in there the brother with the with the 6x10 hoop is around $2K. Now, there are a lot more projects you can do with a 6x10 hoop. Okay, there's a lot of the end hoop projects that you can do with that. So that is something worth looking into also. So that's why I say, when it comes to embroidery, really think about what it is that you're trying to do. What is it that you want out of it? And have that should really like help you determine what is the machine that's going to work for you. Okay. And one thing for sure that I will tell you up front, the bigger the hoop that the machine uses, the more expense that you're going to shell out. Okay. Machines are not cheap. Okay. That is one thing that really shocked me. I remember once I had a girlfriend and she had a sewing machine and she paid like 10 grand for it. And I was like, $10,000. I really, and it's not that I didn't believe her, but I was just like, oh, okay, whatever, But then when I went to the sewing shop and I saw some of these machines, I mean, they were like the Cadillac of machines, like, the cellular and all that kind of stuff. And I sat in front of them and I saw how they sewed. I mean, beautifully sewed. And I saw, how they embroider and all that kind of stuff. And, there are flatbed machines out there that are $15,000 to $20,000. I mean, big money. Not these. I mean, they more expensive than these. And I was just like, wow. Now, I don't touch them. I look at them, but I won't touch it because it's kind of like it's like I tell people, like with babies, right? Like when I see people with babies, I'm like, oh, they're so cute and everything. I don't touch babies. I don't touch them because it's a trap. Okay, it's a trap. You hold a baby, they have that new baby smell, right? And then they start cuddling with you and all that kind of stuff and everything. The next thing you know, you're like, oh, I want a baby. It's a trap, okay? And then when you have the baby, they grow up, they're cute at first, but then when they hit the teen years, you just want to kill them, you know? So it's like, it's a trap. So I look at the sewing machines kind of like the same way. I go in the sewing shop and I look at them and I'll watch other people sew, but I don't want to touch them, because if I touch them, then what's going to happen is I'm going to be like, oh, this is nice. This is really nice. It sews like butter. And next thing you know, I'm just going to be like, I want it. So I can't have another machine in the house. I truly cannot. I can't. Okay. I got 7 machines in here. I'm out of space. Carlito's not out the house yet. He graduates next year, and I think after he graduates, he may end up staying here for a little bit longer. I don't know what's going to happen. So until I'm fully an empty nester, I can't have another machine. I have no more room. I really don't. And we're not moving. Moving is not an option, because this house is going to get paid off, and I love this home, and we're staying. I'm going to, believe me. If I buy another machine, I'll have to be in our living room or in our dining room or something like that. There is no more space. So, I'm going to have to, or I have to get rid of a machine to replace it with the new machine. And the thing that I have is I believe that I have a problem with machines. I really, truly do. Because once you have a machine, you get attached to it. They become your babies, and you don't want to get rid of them, which is why, like, some people were, my husband at one time, I got my 6 needle machine. Okay, this is my 6 needle machine. This is my 10 needle machine. My husband was telling me, take the 6 needle machine and trade it in for a 10 needle machine. That way you have 2 10 needles. Can't do it. I don't want to do it. This is my first multi-needle machine. We've been through some rough times together. I just can't let go. Not gonna let go. I'm sorry. Can't do it. So it's staying with me. Okay. So I would have to make room for another machine somehow. So anyway, but yeah. Let's see. Hey, Allison, how you doing? Hey, Danielle, how are you? Embroidery G. She started with a baby lock Sophie. She upgraded to a flare, and now she has a Racoma 15 needle. Every machine's been great. I'm telling you, you fall in love with your machines. You really, truly do. You really, you do. It's like, you never want to get rid of your machines. I want Embroidery G. Do you still have all your machines? I'm just wondering. Or did you let go of any of your babies? I'm just wondering. It's I can't let go of mine. I really can't. And stuff. So I don't know. I just can't get rid of any of my machines and stuff. Hey, Robbins Croak Basket, how are you? Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Marlena. Yes, if you guys like the information I shared with you guys today, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel out a lot. Let's see. Hey, Jenny, how are you? Is Miss Banks in the house? I think, is she in the Banks? Did I skip Miss Banks? Oh my God. I think she is here, maybe. Hey, Pretty Eyes, how are you? Girl, we're going to have to catch up the next time I go to Florida, because I know you mentioned that you were close to where my mom lives. So we have to get together. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Annette. Hey, Peggy, how are you? Let's see. Hey, Baby Booty. Hey, Eve, how are you doing? Love back at you, girl. And so I thought about you when I was driving back and forth to Florida, because I believe you're in North Carolina, But and I was gonna reach out, but then I saw you posted that I think you were in Indiana or something like that. You were at an event. So I was like, okay, we're gonna definitely, the next time I start making my trip, I'm gonna have to tell you when I'm going to hit North Carolina. So maybe we can meet up somewhere or something. Cause I would love, love, love to meet you and stuff. But yeah, I thought about you. I really did. I thought about you. Every time I hit North Carolina, I think uh about you, Eve, because I know you're in that area somewhere and stuff. Hey Iris, how are you? Sort of in a dead zone. Places to go, less than an hour. I shop there though. Let's see. Mistakes aren't mistakes, they're practice. We learn so much from I totally agree, Embroidery G. You have your moment though. You do get pissed. Okay. Let's admit it. All right. Because when I do the mistake and I see it, I'm like, oh, shoot. Even though I'm not really saying shoot, I'm really saying something else. Okay. And then, and then sometimes maybe a little bit of curse words come out and stuff like that. And then I'm like, ah, and then I'm mad. And then I'll look to see what it is. And then sometimes I'll be mad at myself because sometimes the back of a shirt got sewn to the front of the shirt. And that means I didn't hoop it correctly. Okay. I should have paid more attention to how I hooped it. Another mistake, common mistakes that I make also is I forgot to change the color thread. Or if I change the color thread, I tied the knot, but I didn't pull it all the way through and rethread it to the correct color. And then it'll embroider in the old color until the new color comes through, and then it'll stop because of course there was a knot, and then I'm mad at myself because I'm like, why did you do that? And then I really get pissed off when I'm embroidering a new design and I didn't test it. And I can't, you want to get mad at the person that sold you the embroidery design because you're like, what the heck? This should have been embroidered correctly. But at the same time, you got to be mad at yourself because you should have tested it. So yeah, I mean, you always learn from them. And sometimes, and one of the biggest thing also is I notice I will make mistakes if I'm in a rush. If I'm like, if I have like a whole bunch of orders and, and I'm in a rush and I'm trying to do all this stuff at the same time, I make mistakes. So usually what I'll do is I will take my orders and I work on them one at a time. And I focus on that. So it's like I'll take one machine, I'll dedicate it to that one order, and then I'll take the other order and I'll dedicate it to the second machine. And then I just focus on it because if you do too many orders at the same time, sometimes you can get confused and it's just no. So I like to take my time. And one of the best things that I like about when you own your own embroidery business is you get to determine your schedule. Okay. Like, for instance, the last couple of weeks have been really, really hard for me because I had to be there for my family. So because I had to do, I there was no choice. I had to shut down the shop and everything like that. And, I had to postpone on videoing and all that kind of stuff because I had things I had to take care of things. I had to be there for my family. Right. But, it's a bad thing and a good thing. It's a good thing because I'm in control, right? I decide when I want to open my shop. I decide when I'm going to close it. I can decide on when I'm going to work on orders and all that stuff. But the bad thing too is, think about it. I mean, you're not working on orders. You're not getting any money. Okay. So I did lose a lot as my shop was closed. But it's okay. I mean, there's always another year. Mother's Day will come again. Father's Day will come again. And, it's going to work out at the end. And Christmas is coming and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not too worried. Everything comes in due time. Sometimes you just have to let the universe do its thing, right? That's how I see it, so yeah. But let's say, hey, Joanna, how are you? But yeah, mistakes is something that you do have to embrace it. You really do. And that's with anything in life. We all screw up once in a while. We all have our moments and everything. I don't have anything around me, all back roads, farmland around here. Oh, you are lucky in that. I wish I kind of had that, lived in like a rural kind of area. I grew up in New York City, so it was like apartment living. So it's always like crowds, people, everything like that. When I did move to Washington, D.C., it was kind of like the same. But then when I bought my first home in Bristol, Virginia, it was kind of country in a way. Even though it was a little townhome and you still had a community around you, but I liked my townhouse because it was back to trees. So it kind of gave me that really nice, nice scene. And I loved it when it snowed and everything. Where I live now, unfortunately, it's like I don't really have that same scenery. It's okay. I mean, but it's all right. It's not bad. We got a corner home and I get to see across the street and people walk by and I'm like, hey, so it's not that bad. But I do get to go to wineries and all that stuff. So that's as far as I go with all the land. But you are very, very fortunate if you have all of that, Annette. Enjoy it. Enjoy the views and the peace that brings. That's like awesome. Maybe I can convince Fred that we can move somewhere like that when we retire. He's got 1.5 years. I got 3 left. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where we end up and stuff. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Annette loves that flora thread. I'm telling you, I like this thread because it's so shiny. As you can see, look, you can see the shine. You can see the shine. And I love this for Christmas. Okay, so like if I'm embroidering dinner napkins for Christmas, like you're doing the Christmas wreath and stuff like that, this thread in the color green, red, and gold. Oh, it's so rich. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love the way the designs look on this. Really, really, truly love it. Hey, Jail Love, how are you doing? Hey, Julie, how are you? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, people are talking about the pre-worn bobbins, I see. Hey, Nancy, how you doing? I see my sister's on. What weight is the bobbin thread? Does it vary like that? It does, Barbara. I have seen 2 types. I've seen 90 and I've seen 60. I've used the 60 weight. That's the one that I use. Let me make sure. Hold on. Let me make sure I have it here. I usually use, this doesn't say. Hold on. Nope, I told you wrong. Sorry. I told you wrong. It's not 60 weight. It's 90. This is the one that I use. Okay. This is the one that I use. This is the pre-winded ones that I get for the SC1900. And this is what I like about it. See how tightly wounded it is? That's a lot of thread. Lasts a long time. So I like these for my SC1900. Love it. And I'm gonna tell you something. This box, one of these boxes could probably last you a whole year, I think. Well, depending how much you embroider. Okay. Now, these are the magnetic ones. Oh, sorry. These are all the cores that I have and stuff because I saved them. I recycle these. So but like I said, you send these back to the company, they'll give you a rebate coupon because I've done it in the past. They've given me a rebate coupon. But you gotta it's like 3 boxes fill out one of these. So as you can see, it's like still, I got plenty of room for more cores and stuff. So, yeah, but these are the side lists. That means there's no plastic and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's what I use for bobbin thread. Hey Judy, how are you? Oh, man, it feels good to be in my craft room. I'm telling you, I feel like, oh, I'm home. I am home. It really, really feels great. I love it. Let's see. Hi, Jeanette. Fred Cardito, welcome back. Hey, Nettie, how you doing? What you said goes through my mind, but you are so right. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Sassy, how are you? Hey, Iris, how you doing? Tension, the hardest lesson ever. Yes, tension, embroidery G board. That is the one thing that people learn the hard way. They always learn tension when your tension is off on your machine. Then you're like, what the heck? Why is it? Then it's like, you got to learn it, which is, it's okay. I mean, that's really just how it works out, you know? You just gotta, but you really should learn it and stuff. Let's see. Hey Barbara, how's it feel? Everybody's doing well. Everybody's adjusting, you know. We're kind of worried a little bit about my mom because, you know, my mom is you know, it's a big adjustment. You know, my parents were married for 56 years. That was her best friend for, you know, and it was a healthy marriage. Like I said, they were very, very happy. So for my dad to no longer be around, that's a huge emotional adjustment for my mom. So, but I know she's going to get through it because she's a very, very strong lady. And she's sharp. She's very active. And you know, she has a great support system. You know, my sister and my brother-in-law are there. She has great neighbors. You know, they all went to the service and funeral. They all were there to support her. You know, when I wasn't there, they would take her to the hospital, see my dad, and bring her back. She's very, very fortunate. She has so many people that love her. So, you know, it's an adjustment. You know, it's going to take time. You know, I know me personally, I'm okay. One of the things that I have that, you know, one of the, and if you guys have not lost a parent yet, one of the things that I recommend you do is record their voice. You know, I record, you know, I didn't record my dad's voice. What happened was my dad left me a voicemail message about I think about like 5 months ago, something like that. And he left me a voice message. And I kept it on my phone. I never deleted it and stuff, thankfully. And I have it saved, and I actually saved it in several different places. And, you know, it's one of the things that's really comforting is if I ever want to hear his voice, I play it, you know, and, you know, it's comforting to me, you know, because sometimes when, you know, a person is no longer around, there's certain things about them that you no longer kind of experience, like, you know, touching them, you know, hugging them, and even just hearing their voice. And you know, I'm really grateful that I have that, because when I play it and I hear it, it's like he's still here for me. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to get emotional, but anyway. But yeah, so, you know, one of the things just I recommend that you do is, you know, with your loved ones and stuff, you know, record conversations and stuff, because you never know when's the last time you're going to hear them. And And if you, and when they're gone and you want to just, just hear them again, you can and stuff. And one of the things that I want to do is I want to record it and probably put it in a pillow or something. I don't know. I'm going to, there's just so many things I want to do because I want to make sure that I keep his memory alive for me and for my son, because that's his grandpa. And, he was a man that did so many great things and, came from Puerto Rico to here with nothing and became so successful. And I want Carlito to know that we are where we are because of all that sacrifice that he made. So I don't ever want that to be forgotten at all. Never. So anyway, but thanks for asking, Barbara. Yeah, we're doing good. It's an adjustment, but we're gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay and stuff. And I see Nancy. Yep. It's been, and I think she says it's been very difficult. Just taking it one day at a time. And yeah, and that's what the whole family is doing. We're just being there for each other and taking it day by day. And I know it's going to get better as time goes on and stuff like that. Marlene, she has 2 needles. I have 2 needles on my multi-needle machine that break the thread away every 2 or 3 stitches. Don't know what to do. I'm about to call a tech to check it out. What I would do, Marlene, 2 needles on a multi-needle machine that keep breaking. I would check to make sure that you are inserting the needle in correctly, that you're putting it in all the way up. That they're not bent or anything like that. Could be a bad needle. It could be that maybe it wasn't inserted correctly. I'm just guessing. I'm trying to rule out stuff because when you call a tech, sometimes, that's going to cost you money, So if you could try to figure it out, that's what I would try to do. Make sure it's not a bent needle because, sometimes you could get a bad one in a pack. Make sure that you are actually putting it in correctly. And see if you can run the needle slow, not a fast speed, but slow. And also see if it's actually breaking at a particular design, because sometimes what can happen is if you're embroidering a design and you're at a particular portion of that design where it's very dense, okay, maybe, and it's breaking, maybe it's because at that particular place of that design, maybe you need to be slowing down your machine, okay, and because it's gonna break, because that's happened to me where I had been working on a design and then all of a sudden it's like this one particular spot where the needle just kept breaking and I was like, what the heck? And then when I slowed down the machine, all of a sudden it ran smooth, and then I was kind of like, oh, okay, well that's probably what it was, and stuff like that. So try to eliminate certain things before calling, because you don't want, like, then you gotta pay all this money. You know what I'm saying? Keep that money in your pocket if you can. Let's see. Let's see what else. Yeah, Nancy's trying to keep my mom busy. Bingo. Mom loves bingo and stuff. Yeah, and I know there's got to be a bingo hall somewhere that she can go to. We'll have to figure it out. Let's see. On a multi-needle, how often do you change to new needles? Every 8 hours. It doesn't matter if you're on a single needle or a multi-needle. Needles get dull. So every 8 hours of embroidering, I change them. I change the needles, okay? Always don't be cheap on your needles. Trust me, because it can really mess up your embroidery. It really can. Yep, Marlene even says it. She changes it continuously after 8 hours of work. It's good that you're close to her, Nancy, for support. Yeah, it is, because Nancy really doesn't live close to my mom. That's the other think too. A lot of people think that Nancy's like right around the corner from my mom. She's not, she's quite a little, it's a drive, okay? It's like a half-hour drive from my sister's house to my mother's house. So, but of course, if you talk to my mom, she'll come out and go, oh, Nancy lives right there. But of course, she's not driving, so she's not exactly close, but she's at least closer than what I am, because I'm like 21 hours away and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get my mom on a plane and have her come and visit and stuff for a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. My machine needs service right now. Yeah, you gotta service your machines. I'm telling you, you gotta service them. Let's see. Oh, what's going on here? Oh my God, Daniel said something. Oh, somebody just embroidered a little teddy bear. That is so cute. Gotta show this. Look. That's so cute. That's cute. See? Wonder Woman. I love it when folks send me pictures of the stuff they're working on and stuff. That gets exciting, when you see that and everything. So yeah, I can't wait to start this. I really can't wait. And I can't wait for Joanne to put the patterns on sale again for $1.99, because I saw a whole bunch more of patterns like for tote bags and all that kind of stuff. So, and that's another thing too. Look for patterns for different craft items. I actually thought that this was only for like clothes and stuff like that. It's not true. They have patterns for tote bags, for kitchen towels, for pot holders and all that kind of stuff. I mean, so it's like when I saw that, I was like, oh, and I grabbed so many different patterns. But then when I saw that you can get them on sale for $1.99, I put them all back, because of course I'm not going to pay full price. I'm like, I can wait till they go $1.99 and then put my military discount on top of that. So that's what I'm planning on doing. Let's see. Love when you do show and tell. Where'd you get those scissors? I got, if you're talking about these, you can get these off of Amazon. Okay, you can get these off of Amazon and everything. Now, one of the things that I recommend, though, that you guys do, because you guys know I like to pinch my pennies. Okay, I don't like to pay full price for anything. All right, I believe on Amazon you could do like a price watch. Okay, because I bought these and now I believe they're more expensive. Okay, so I would do a price watch. And I would probably see if you can pick them out at Joann's or something like that, so you can use a coupon to get these. The same thing with this. I got this off of Amazon. Also, this is pricey too. I mean, they're little scissors, but they cost quite a bit. So, so like I said, I would look for the stuff that you need, and then do a Google search for it. See what other stores sell them. Make sure you apply coupons and all that kind of stuff and everything. Because like I said, embroidery is so expensive and stuff. You don't want to be, you don't want to spend too much if you don't have to and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Amazon, Marlena is a good place to start with looking for these things. And also, if you look at my Amazon shop, I do have the links to some of these items and everything. Add them to your cart and do like a price check, so you can see, you can make sure you're getting the best deal and stuff like that. Okay. Just, I don't want you guys overpaying and all that kind of stuff, because everything's so expensive. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure you get the best bang for your buck. I bought those little side hoppers. I love, after watching one of your videos, love them. Hey, Embroidery. Yeah, this is called the side hopper for you guys and this was what, this is what Miss Banks gave me. And this is truly, I mean, at first I was kind of like, oh, the cute little scissors. But I'm going to tell you something, they get in there. They get in there to get rid of these jump stitches. I mean, these work. And I was just like, oh, so I went and I got another pair, because they're so small. These are so, so small and tiny. I'm afraid I'm going to lose it, even though I keep everything the same. But see, look, I got two. Here's another one. See, so I got two of them and everything. And I saw that they have different colors. So I was wondering if I was going to get like a different color, but I ended up getting the same color. So I was like, oh, okay. I don't think you got to pick the color. I think they just give it to you like that. So, I think they had like yellow and green and stuff like that. But it cuts the right, It would have been cute if I got another color, but that's okay. Let's see. Hey, Tammy, how are you? I'm doing good. Let's see. Jeanette, please list where I can purchase the small scissors from. Amazon. Pretty eyes. If you go to my Amazon storefront, you'll find them. But if you don't go, don't wait. Just look. What's the Sci Hoppers? Okay, Sci Hopper scissors. Look for that, and you'll see it. Real cute little scissors and stuff. Little. They're not cheap either. I'm telling you right now, they're really not that cheap. I don't think any of these scissors are cheap, but if you're looking for good quality scissors, you're gonna have to pay for good quality. You know what I'm saying? If they're real cheap, chances are you're gonna get scissors that are dull, okay? And you don't want that and stuff. So yeah. So thank you for calling Mello. I gotta call Mello. I mean, Mello's the star of the show. And I have to tell you, whenever I visit my mom, okay, and my sister in Florida, and I get out the car, no one's interested in saying hi to me. What everybody wants to do is say hi to Mello. And when Nancy comes in and I'm at my mom's, she doesn't say hi to me. She walks right past me and goes, "Where's Mello?" And she always has like a little toy for him or something. Like now he's walking around with a brand new toy that she got. And of course, Nancy always gets the toys with the little squeaky noise in them so that it annoys me, which is okay. But yeah, it's like she's really good at picking Mello's toys because every toy that she gets him, it's like it's always a hit. Like he's got a little green snake. Okay, he has a very long green snake. It's like a caterpillar or a snake or something. And she got that for him, and he walks around the house with that all the time. And then she also now got him like it's like a cooler bear or something like that. So now he's walking around with that. So it's like, okay. So, I mean, she's actually really good with the toys and stuff and picking in the toys. Is Mello named after a famous baseball player? Okay, Marlena. No, he is not. Actually, I will tell you guys how Mello got his name. When we went to pick up Mello, he seemed like such a calm dog. He was very quiet. He slept a lot. He seemed really calm, right? So my son came out and said, "Oh, this dog is so mellow, like he's so cool." So what we did was we took the name and, we decided to call him Mello. And we spell it MEL-O. And, I like to put the hyphen, but some people spell it without the hyphen. But after day 3, after we've got his dog tag that said Mello, after I've already took him to the vet and we put Mello as his name, after day 3, Mello was not Mello anymore. Mello was very hyper. Mello ran around a lot. Mello was into everything. We were chasing him and all that kind of stuff. So he tricked us. He kind of tricked us, but that is how he got his name, Marlena. He kind of act like he was calm, and then we called him Mello. And then after day 3, the real Mello came out. But we love him to death. He keeps us entertained, that's for sure. Maybe you can make a cover for the bigger, Iris, that's a good idea. You probably can, because that's just elastic. And I don't even know where did it go. Did Mello get it? Oh no, he didn't. I was ready to blame the dog. This is if you really think about it, this is made out of, this right here is elastic. Okay, it's kind of like the same thing you would use in a scrunchie. So you could probably make this for a bigger hoop, like maybe the 5x12. That would be perfect for the 5x12. That's a really good idea. Maybe what we could do is try it. I'll make a video and see. Let's give it a shot and see if this can you know, I mean, this fabric is a little stretchy. It's not that stretchy, but it does have a little give to it, but it's not much. A lot of the give comes from the elastic. So yeah, we can give that a shot. We can probably do that, Iris, and give that a shot and see if we can make this for a bigger one. That would be pretty cool. And so for the 5x12, because you know you do float on the 5x12, and when you spray, you don't want your stuff there and stuff. Oh, Marlena says she's a neat crafter too. Everything needs to be cleaned up as I work, and I do the same thing. I don't like garbage all over the place and stuff like that. I like things to be nice, organized, and simple, because I feel like it makes things a lot easier for me. I don't want to be going around looking for stuff. Okay, so that's usually how I work and stuff. So, and even at night before I close shop, everything gets put away in a nice, neat place. I like to clean my room. I like to get up in the morning and come to a nice, clean craft room all the time. I always do that. Hey, Miss Banks, how are you? How you doing? Hey, Hills Handmade, how you doing? Just joining your live. So sorry if you're ready. I got a Brother embroidery machine. What brand embroidery threads do you recommend? There are a lot of different types of embroidery threads that you can get. Hills Handmade. I like the Madeira. If you are starting out, one of the things that I recommend is if you go on Amazon, they have like a kit of 63 colors from Sim Threads. Those are really, really good. You know, I still use those. I use those on my multi-new machines and all that kind of stuff. I love those threads. You know, there's a lot of different threads out there. I don't think you can go wrong with any. You know, I've done Sim Threads, I've done Brother Reed, I've done Madeira. These are more expensive. They're called Florina. You can get these from your sewing shop, but you know, I have not been able to buy a kit of this brand. Okay. But I would start off with a kit. That's what I would do. I would start off with a kit, because a kit, you know, can give you a variety of colors, so that way you can start doing designs. And then as time goes on, you can add more different brands of threads and different colors to your collection. So that's what I would do and stuff. But yeah, but have fun with that machine. Have fun with that machine and stuff. You're gonna love it. You're gonna get addicted. Hey, Adriana, how you doing? Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you guys enjoy the tips and stuff. Hey, Miss Banks. Oh, I thought about all the quilters today when I was watching Dime's YouTube channel on the quilting software. I am really thinking about doing some more sewing, Miss Banks. I really do. I want to do some more sewing. I don't know what it is with these envelopes, but I kind of got a little addicted to them, and now I'm dying to try this type of sewing and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. Let's see, did not work for me. Let me see, Jeanette. The ripper takes time and a lot of patience. Still might rip a hole in the fabric. Yes. Yeah, it does. You know, you have to go slow, Iris. You really do. You have to go slow, and that's the thing. And see, and the thing is, when you are embroidering and you make a big mistake, right? And you have to go and you have to pull out that Peggy stitch eraser, and you got to pull out the steam, you know, the steam ripper and all that kind of stuff to undo the stitches. One of the things that I learned is I don't do it right away, because you're already frustrated, you're pissed off, you're already hyped, or at least that's how I get all hyped, right? And then I'm like, ugh, you know, and then that when you're in that type of mood, that's when you're most likely going to screw it up even more. So when I make a mistake like that, I usually like to walk away. And then when I have time, okay, I will undo all the stitches where I'm not rushing to undo all the stitches, because when you're taking your time, then the less chances that you're going to rip the fabric and stuff. I mean, that is for sure, because like Miss Iris said, you can rip that fabric if you don't remove those stitches correctly. So you can't rush that. That's not a process that you want to rush at all. You want to take your time. And I know me, okay, if I'm already at that mode where I'm kind of like, um I'm not gonna I'll probably hold the fabric incorrectly or something, and then I'll put the Peggy stitch eraser and boop, put a hole right through it. I don't want to deal with that and stuff. So what I'll do is I'll just put it aside, work on something else, and then when I'm in a more calmer mood, I'll even take myself out of here, go somewhere else where I can just watch TV or something like that, be more calm, whatever, and maybe take a shot of Patron or something like that, or have some wine with the high alcohol content or something like that, so that I can just start removing those stitches. And and the more frustrating is if you're like towards the end of the embroidery design, or you are working with an embroidery design with thousands of stitches, like 20, 30,000 stitches. That's going to take a very long time to undo. It's not something that you're going to undo within like 5 or 10 minutes. Forget about it. That means you're probably going to take like half a day to unravel all of that. So yeah, it can be a very painful learning experience, removing stitches, but it can be done. It can be done. It just takes a lot of time and stuff. Oh, drop my little snip scissors, and now not cutting. Oh, you probably hit the blade or something, Marlene. Left-handed. All my good scissors are for lefties. I recycle and send it back to the company too. Yeah, I always send back the cores. I always do. Why not? I just don't want to throw them out. I prefer to give it back to the company so they can redo it and stuff. Is that I usually have a tiny crochet needle to pull the chain through. Annette, I was thinking about that too, because when I was looking at this, and I don't know if I showed it to you guys, I gotta send Nancy hers, and I'll put it in the mail tomorrow. But I looked at this, and that's exactly what it is. It's like a crochet hook. Here. See, it has a little hook there. See? If you guys see it, I don't know if you guys see it. Here you go. Oh, there you go. See that little hook? And that's to pull the thread through. That's to pull the thread through in the serger thing. So I was kind of like, I spent a little pretty penny on this little hook. I could have got a crochet hook, but it's okay. It's all right. I mean, we got it. And there's 2 in a pack. And I guess in case you lose one. So I figured out, I have 2. So what I'll do is I'll keep one in each of my serger package, for one for each serger machine, because I have 2 sergers. I have the Brother 1034DX, and then I got the Airflow 3000. And I got to tell you something, I actually like the cheap serger a lot better than the more expensive one, but I think it's just because I have to practice more on the more expensive. I haven't really used it too much. So that's why I want to start getting into sewing, because I spend all this money on these machines. I better start using them. Out of all the machines that I have, the ones that have gotten the most use is a 2 multi-needle and my SC1900. I also have a quilting machine, which is the Juki 1210Q. I've used it, but I need to use it more. And then I have my 2 sergers, and I need to use that more as well, because I don't want to feel like I'm neglecting any type of machines. I want to do that. Let's see. Hey, Nana, how are you? let's see. Oh, Eartha, that's a very good idea. She bought I'm gonna show you this. She bought a magnet to pick up pins in a sewing room. Best $3 ever spent. That is a very neat idea. That truly, truly is, because you know how many times I've dropped a needle on my floor and then it's really hard for you to find it. But if you have a magnet like that, all you have to do is just swoop it around the floor, and I bet you find it a lot quicker. Thank you for that. And you know what? I'm gonna see if I can buy one. And I bet you I could probably get one on Timo. I'll probably look on Timo. I haven't shopped there in a long time. I haven't shopped at all, actually, but I'm gonna have to hit the Timo site. Maybe I'll get that from there and stuff. Let's see. Oh, I made a t-shirt quilt for my husband with all of his work t-shirts. That is really that is very, very popular, the t-shirt quilts and stuff. Oh, this is a wonderful idea, Jeanette. Oh, thanks. So I guess you're talking about, yeah, I want to frame my dad's shirt. I'm going to frame that. Let's see. Sometimes are 99 cents. They are. Okay, doctor, where are 99 cents? I wonder, are they 99 cents at Joann's? Okay, now you got me curious, because now I'm going to be on the hunt for the 99 cents patterns. And that's the thing. I don't want to pay full price like that. You know what I'm saying? So if I can get them cheaper, you could get more patterns. That's why. So yeah, now I definitely want to, I always buy my patterns when they're on sale. That's what I want to do. Yes, they have a sale once a month selling different brands. I keep a list of patterns I want. Always purchase them on sale. Never pay full price for a pattern. That's on a, oh, and Iris said, Jeanette, you can use craft paper to make patterns out of. Yeah, I'm using tracing paper, so that way I don't have to cut my actual pattern. I just want to use the tracing paper. That way I can keep the actual pattern intact, because sometimes like you could get like a shirt pattern, right? And then the shirt comes in different sizes. So I'll just trace out the size that I need. That way, because if you actually cut the paper, then you kind of like mess it up, because then it's like you don't have size small, medium, large, or all the other sizes, right? So that's why I got the tracing paper, because I want to be able to keep that in there. Let me see. Oh, Miss Banks said, my first multi-needle was used and I paid $2,500 for a Brother 6 needle machine and got 95 spools of thread, 3 box magnetic bobbins, and the stand, and 2 sets of hoop. She got a good deal. Miss Banks, I got to show what you got. So for the lady that was asking about should you buy used, well, as you can see, Miss Banks got a good deal. So that's a really good deal. $2,500 for a 6 needle machine. That is like really good. And then she got 95 spools of thread, 3 boxes of bobbins. Okay, and let me tell you, these boxes, they're not cheap. Okay, they're about like $35. Well, I get them from Dash, Hab plus Dash. But if you get them from other places, they can be as expensive as $40, $50 a box. Okay, so that was a really good price. And then the stand alone is about $800. Okay, and 2 sets of hoops. She got a really, really, really good deal. She really did. It used to be every other week. Yeah, I have to go. Oh, Hobby Lobby also has great pattern sales too. I did not know that. I will have to check them out as well. I didn't even know that Hobby Lobby sold patterns and stuff. I don't know. It's just me and my sister just went in there. And then when I saw they had patterns for bags and stuff like that, not just clothes, I was kind of like, oh, I got to check that out. Because sometimes you just don't have the pattern to make something. So I'll have to check them out as well. Let's see. 509. Oh, I saw the $599 special for the SC 1900. Hey, Christian. I know, I saw that too. I was like, I wish I paid that much for my machine. I actually paid $1,000 for mine. I mean, expensive machines and stuff. Oh, and Taisha said, Sewing Machine Plus runs weekly sales. Try to watch them every week. Couldn't this week because of grandson's graduation. Yes, her grandson James graduated. And so that was like so awesome. Oh, hey Anna. Oh, you're very welcome. And thanks. Appreciate that. Danielle said Sewing Machine Plus is where she purchased her new sewing and embroidery machine last month. Girl, what machine did you get? What did you get? You got to... What machine did you get? Oh, I'm curious now. What's the SC 1900 price returned to normal on Sewing Machine Plus. You know, they really do have good sales, but you got to catch them, like Miss Banks says. You got to catch those lives and stuff that they sell. Christian says she got the brother NQ and love to have. She's got that. And I believe, Christian, the NQ 1600, that's the one with the 6x10 hoop. And would love to trade it in for still. Let me tell you, that's still there. When I see that still there, I'm telling you, it's like it calls. It really does. It's a beautiful machine. I won't touch it. I will not touch it. I think the still there is about 15 grand, something like that. I think it's about 15 grand. And you know, my multi-needle costs 15 grand. But that stiletto is beautiful. It's a beautiful machine. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh my God. I would love a stiletto too. I would. Oh my God. That's a gorgeous machine. Miss Banks said she purchased her Dookie frames from Sewing Machine Plus. Yeah, they always have that. For all of you that are complaining about the cost of machines, you're really getting a good deal today. I purchased my first embroidery machine 35 years ago. You know, Miss Banks, for you guys that don't know, that lady knows her stuff. I am telling you, she is the queen of all this stuff. I'm telling you, I learn a lot from her. I do. I love learning from her and stuff. I gotta go visit her one day. Oh, and then look at that. She paid $5,500 for a single needle machine, which the largest hoop was 6x10. Wow. So that means back in the day, these embroidery machines cost more. And now they're cheaper. Because I think a 6x10, if I remember correctly, I think the Crafty Puerto Rican, Jenny, I think she posted, I think it's like 2,000 and stuff. Yeah, and embroidery designs cost a lot more back then too, if I remember correctly. I remember Miss Banks was sharing that with me. Now things have gotten a lot more affordable, even though to us, we kind of look at it like it's expensive, but it really kind of isn't. It's still more, you know, we just didn't have to pay those prices back in the day. That's what it is. And maybe we were fortunate, you know. Hey, Anna. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend and enjoy. Happy June 19th and Father's Day. Yeah, happy Father's Day to all dads out there too, because Father's Day is Sunday, and then Monday is Juneteenth, federal holiday. And stuff. Let's see. Hey, Valentina, how you doing? I was driving, need to stop and close sewing machine. Oh, yep. Want to let you know, most sewing sells the 1900 for $600. I'm telling you, it's like, wow. the price really went down. And I'm like wondering, I'm like, what is up with the price break on this machine? Like, is it because they're trying to push that new model, the SE2000? And sometimes I wonder too, how well is that new model selling? Because they priced the SE2000 at $1,500, right? And I did a video doing the comparison of the functionality of both of those machines, right? And you're talking about at that time, okay, at that time, the SE1900 was $1,000, the 2000 was $1,500. So it was like a $500 difference. And I talked about the difference of the functionality between those two machines. And one of the questions I was asking was, is it worth the extra $500? If you were looking to buy a new machine, is it worth the extra $500 for the new capabilities that the the SE2000 was offering, which was the Wi-Fi and the cutting of the jump stitches? Those were the two capabilities that really stood out. However, though, when I really thought about it, I thought about, is it something that is worth the extra money? To me, I didn't think so. I personally didn't think so, okay? Now that the SE1900 is like she said, there's 599, or was it 699 that she put in there? I forgot. Where is it? Okay, Valentina says $599. Okay, that's $600. Okay, so think about it. $600 for SE1900 or $1,500 for an SE2000. That's a huge price gap. For a huge price gap like that, you better be offering a lot more functionality if you want my money. I'm just saying, okay? I mean, I don't know. So to me, it's like, you know how much thread and stabilizer and fabric and blanks and all that kind of stuff you could buy with that big price difference? I mean, that's huge. That's really, really huge. Okay? That's, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, if it was me, I would jump on that SE1900. I really would. I really would, because the quality of the sewing is the same. It's just Wi-Fi. And you know, to me, the Wi-Fi is not a big deal, because so what? So you take the design and you save it on a USB flash drive and you take it over to the machine and load it. What's the big deal? Does it have to go through the air? Okay, at the end of the day, you're still getting the design in the machine. Does it have to go through the air? I mean, does it have to go through Wi-Fi? I don't know. To me, I don't see the thing. I mean, I really don't. I really don't. I would prefer to do it on the USB flash drive. That way I always have it on the USB flash drive and I have it on my computer. It doesn't have to just flow into my machine. I really don't see the thing. And as for the jump stitches, you know what? I would invest in these cute little scissors and I would snip away at those jump stitches. I mean, why rush the process? Okay. You love embroidering, enjoy it. That's just me. And then have all that extra money in my pocket that I can use for fabrics, for threads, and all that kind of stuff and anything like that. That's just me. I don't know. I mean, is it worth that extra? Especially if you could get that machine for $600? Oh, no. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. I just, not me. I don't know. But hey, unless I'm wrong or you guys see something that I don't see. I mean, I don't know. Do you have to oil your embroidery machine if you don't use it every day? No, you don't have to embroider it every day. But you do have to, you should oil it before you start to embroider. Okay? That you want to do for sure. Because like, look, I wasn't here. I haven't been home in, I think, almost a month, I think. Yeah, I think like a month or 3 weeks, something like that. That I haven't been home. So there wasn't anybody here to oil any of my machines. However, though, tomorrow morning when I have to start embroidering, because I got some orders that I got to fill, as soon as I turn them on, they're getting oiled. I have to oil them, okay? Now I don't have to change the needles because I know that these are fresh needles because I had changed the needles before I left to Florida. So these are all brand new needles that the machine has. However, though, when I'm done with all my orders tomorrow, because I know these machines will be running for 8 hours, I am going to have to take all the needles out and put brand new ones. So, but do I have to, as soon as you turn them on, that's when you oil them. That's what, so when you're going to do it, but you don't have to, if you're not using it every day, you don't have to oil it every day. Okay. I hope that helps. Evergy. Let's see. Hey Denise, how you doing? Where do you get your bobbins? Hab plus dash. Let me see if I have. Hold on, because I can show you where to order them from. Here it is. Go to this website. Here, go here. This is the best place that has the best prices for the magnetic bobbins, Denise. I did specify the magnetic bobbins for your brother. Yes, Denise. Here. I'm telling you, here. Okay. Best prices. If you go to another place you can go is All Stitch, but you're going to pay more. You can do Amazon, you're going to pay more. Okay. You guys know I like to pinch those pennies. All right. So this is the place for these bobbins. For these bobbins, best prices. Best prices so far. This is where I go. And what I usually do is I order like 5 boxes at a time. Okay. And when I see that I'm down to like 2 boxes, I order another 5. So that way I always have like 7 boxes here and I never run out. That's how I usually roll when it comes to these, because I told you guys, I had that bad experience where I ran out of bobbins and I could not find bobbins anywhere. And I was dying because I had all these orders coming in during the Christmas time. And oh my God, it was stressful, very stressful. I was going from sewing shop to sewing shop looking to see where can I get bobbins. So when I found this place and, this place Hab plus dash, and I saw that they were cheaper. I just ordered 5. And then what I do is when I get down to 2 boxes, okay, because there's 100 in a box. So when I get down to 200 bobbins, then I order 5 more boxes. That way I have plenty. That's how I do it. That kind of works for me. Let's see. Oh, Taisha says she has her mom's voice recorded too. She passed in 2080, and I still have the recording to play. It's really it's special when you do that, because it's when you hear that voice, it's like they never left you. I don't know. That's just something that I just I just thank God that I had that. I really do. I thank God that I never deleted the voice message. I got plenty from my mom, plenty, because my mom calls all the time. And then if you don't call her back, she calls you like 6 more times. Okay. So I got plenty of those. Jeanette, it's mommy. Where are you? Call me back. Jeanette, hey, you better call me back. Jeanette, you're pissing me off. Call me back. I got plenty of those messages from mom. I got galore of them. Okay. But my dad, it was very rare that he calls, and he wasn't much of a talker. I mean, he talked to me all the time, but it's just I never had that recording. And then when my dad did call me that one time, and I saw that I had his voice, I don't want to lose that, because it's something that I can hear whenever I just want to hear him. I can just play it, and stuff. So yeah, but if you guys still have your parents living and stuff like that, take your iPhone out, just record something. It could just be a sentence. It doesn't have to be a whole conversation, just a sentence or something, so that you have that. And and then you can listen to it, because when people are gone, you can easily forget how their voice sounded and all that kind of stuff, and it's just something good to have. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Barbara said, I wish I had done that. Yeah, it's something, Hey Jenny. Oh, sending out, stay strong, calling it a night. Oh, right. Good night, Jenny. Appreciate it. And I'm glad you're enjoying the video. Hey Danielle, found a MIDI cassette recorder on my mom's voice in it. Children took it to Build-A-Bear and made a Wonder Bear with her voice in it. Oh, is that? Yeah, that's the picture that you sent me. That is Danielle. I thought you made that. That was from Build-A-Bear? Oh. Yeah, she sent me the oh, where is it? Through Facebook. That's the Build-A-Bear. And you know what, Danielle, I'm thinking about going to Build-A-Bear, because they do sell those little recording things, and I'm thinking about transferring that recording to a bear for me, so I can have it or something, I think maybe I'll do that. I'll go to the mall tomorrow, treat myself to a bear. I'm gonna do that. Hey Faith, how are you? Always fantastic. Have fun with the family. Have fun. Hey Margie, how you doing? Looking on Amazon, can't seem to locate those scissors. Look for all right, let me see if I can get you a name. Oh shoot, I think they're called Hopper, something like that. Okay, you know what? All right. Let's see. You know what I will do? Okay, Marlena, I will find it and I will post that link on this video description for you. Okay, for you guys, for all you guys that are interested in this stuff. Okay, in this, because I know this one, and I'll post it for this one as well. Okay, in the video description for you guys. Let me see. I'll leave this out here. That way I remember when we say goodbye that I will post that there. So that way you guys can get them, because they are a little tricky to find. They are a little tricky to. Yeah, I found the high. Oh, good. She found it. Okay, good. Marlena, you got it. Okay, cool. Hey, Danielle. Oh, Danielle got the cellular. That's what she got. Oh, my goodness. That's what she got. Jealous. I'm going to go visit you. Play with your machine. That's what I'm going to do. Play with your machine on your sewing table that you got last year. Let's see, the Viking designer, it was $8,000. Oh God. Oh, with a floppy disk. Guys, look at this. That goes to show you how much embroidery machines cost back in the day. That's big money. $8,000, a Viking with a floppy disk. And nobody even uses floppy disks anymore. Oh my God. That's pretty big. Daniela, I'm going to go see you. Daniela. Oh, it's about, okay. Then I wonder, I saw a machine that was $15,000. I wonder if it was something else. So Crafty Puerto Rico said they're about $5,000 to $6,000. I'm telling you, these machines are expensive. Embroidery can be such an expensive hobby. It is just like, wow. Oh, and Margie is saying that the NQ1600 is not Wi-Fi compatible, but the newer model is. But you know what? I keep asking you guys, do you guys really think you need the Wi-Fi? That's the thing. If I can just take a USB drive and stick it in that machine, I should be okay. That's why I won't get rid of my SE1900, and that's why I refuse to get the SE2000, because it's way more expensive. And I don't know if, I mean, I have Wi-Fi on my 10 needle machine. I barely use it. I still take the USB port, the flash drive over there. I don't really use it. So I don't know. Is it really, really necessary? I don't know. Hey, Black Doll, how you doing? Can you tell me where to get a chair like you have, cheap? Black Doll, I'm gonna tell you something. These chairs are not cheap. They are not. However, I do love them. Okay, I bought mine from Amazon. Okay, and these are Arrow sewing chairs. Okay, I do have the link in the Amazon shop. What I would do is see if just try to Google it. Try to Google Arrow sewing chair. Now, I am going to tell you this about the chair that I found was kind of like, The fabric on this chair is a little bit thin. However, though, do keep in mind that I sit in these chairs every day. Okay? Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to get this out here. I sit in these chairs every single day. So the fabric in this chair kind of ripped. But what I was able to do was reupholster it. Buying fabric from I just went to Joann's and I just got like really nice, thick, sturdy fabric, and then I just reupholstered it and stuff. Very easy to do. They're not hard to do at all. I even got a video on the channel on how to do that and stuff. But I will say I do love the chairs. I am gonna say they were pricey though. They're like in the $300 range. They were like, if I remember correctly, it was $329, something like that. And I bought two. I got one that's adjustable and then one that's not and stuff. And I use them both because I have both on each side of the room. And then when a customer comes to visit me, then they'll sit in that chair and stuff like that. So they're expensive though. Black Dot. I wish I could tell you they were cheap, but they're expensive. But what I would do is look to see if you could find other chairs. If you see something similar or something like that, just type up sewing chairs or something like that and everything. But they're pricey. They're pricey and stuff. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. Appreciate it. Where would you oil? No, you don't, Wanda. You don't oil the SC1900. Do not oil the SC1900. When the SC1900, you should be taking it annually for servicing. Okay. When you take it in for servicing, they will do the oiling. You don't oil that. You oil the multi-needles. These machines get oiled, okay? Your sergers get oiled. Your quilting sewing machines get oiled. The SC1900 does not need to be oiled. So you don't have to worry about that, okay? Oh, yeah, Robin mentioned that. Okay, you don't have to oil it, but yeah, they oil it for you. They do, because they oil it and you should be good for a whole year. You should be good. Hey Emma, how you doing? Let's see. Think about talking about the luminant. That is, yes, I think you're talking about, yes, I'm talking about the big baby. I mean the huge one. That's the Tesla of all machines. That was like, yeah, 18,000-20,000. And I think it was on sale once for like 15,000, something like that. But that's still a lot of money. That's still a lot of money. I was just like, oh my God. I'm not buying the same machine plus Wi-Fi. It's not an upgrade to me. Yeah, Christian, I don't know. I just don't think that the SE 2000, I don't think the functionality is that they added to the machine is so great that it's worth all that extra money either. I really don't. I think the SC1900 is good enough. But guys, I am going to call it the night. It feels so good. Look at that. I'm over. I'm sorry. We're almost at 3 hours. Okay. You guys are hanging in there with me. But I'm telling you, it feels so freaking good to be back in my domain. I feel so good. I'm energetic. I feel happy. I'm in my place and I'm doing my thing. And it feels good. It feels good. So please expect more videos are going to be coming out because I already got like a list of videos that I want to do. I am excited about working on embroidery orders all over again. You know, I mean, I already got 2 orders that I need to package up and make sure that I do the pickup you know, for the postman to come tomorrow to pick up the orders and stuff. I am like so excited. I am so excited to be back in my space. And I just want to really say again, thank you so much to all you guys that have reached out to me, you know, sent me all the cards and everything. You guys, that meant so much to me. It really truly did. I mean, it's so awesome. And you know, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. You know, everything's going to be well. He lives in my heart forever, you know, and everything's going to be good. And I'm just glad to be back home so that I can just move forward and just do my thing and just keep doing this channel and just keep doing my embroidery and just do me. So guys, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this Friday. I hope that the information that I shared, you guys found it useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I will see you guys next Friday for another embroidery happy hour. And I will be posting more videos soon. So I will talk to you guys later. So happy Father's Day to all you guys. And also, you know, happy June 19th as well. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. And guys, be safe and happy sewing, happy embroidering. Love you all. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.